racks on my knees, met the only way I'm going in. If the profit's decent, it's no joke, I ain't eating. If the news is recent, I might have to yeet in. The charts are going crazy, don't need a reason. Oh, simple, it ain't all season. 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 All right, good morning, everybody, or good evening, depending on where you are. But just know that you're always in the right time, the right space. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Good morning, good morning. I see we got some familiar faces up here. What's up, you guys? Great to see everybody. You know what? I did actually personally ask Pause to join us today so that we could discuss Give Rep and kind of give him the alpha on that at some point as well. So I'm stoked to see him in here as well. So.
Yes, I kind of wanted to touch on that because people been in my DMs. How is this working? How am I going to do that with posting, right? And what's the smartest way to go about it? And that kind of stuff. So I think we need to just put that a little bit on repeat because sometimes you need to hear it a few more times for it to settle. I've been looking at it too a lot more times, so that goes for me the same. And I still haven't, I figured out how to do the best thing with posting. That's for sure. Uh, but I see a lot of people making a lot of mistakes with it that could possibly, get yourself wrecked. And we don't want that. We want your
Yes.
account to be healthy, have good engagement. And so maybe we need to go over some engagement rules again and have that on repeat, right? But yeah, let's have a look at that market, you guys, because I'm expecting some projects to come up here. I was in Sui Booster Space earlier, and I still like at halfway in the meeting, and but yeah, some good stuff on there. I'm getting some projects to do like a bigger, give them a little bit of a bigger stage. We're ever growing with the space as it is, so we're actually branding the space, right? That's all evolving over time, and we call that standardize, and then we optimize, right? I hope you guys like that XRP song. Did you listen to it, Dick?
You know what? I could only barely hear it. I was still making my coffee.
Oh, you were still making your coffee, but yeah, that's the XRP song. Stacking to the ceiling. Let's go. That was actually from that meme token XRP, not for XRP straight up, but I still love this song. It's from Mick Ruiz. He's a nice musician here in the space too. I know a lot of musicians that do music NFTs because I find it so interesting because I don't think a lot of DJs out there know in the real world how bullish this could be for their industry, especially because they're so gate kept by large labels. And for them, crypto, music NFTs is going to liberate them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Monetize yourself instead of signing a contract and then doing a lot of work, end up with nothing, right? So, yeah, but let's go over the market. Hold on. Yes, well, this morning we were already discussing where this all was going to go, right? Holding that floor. We're just moving sideways, creeping up on those bears. That's what Bitcoin needs to do. But I see a little bit of insecurity with the alts here. And it's possibly because I'm going to check the volume in a little bit, you guys. I'm going to check that dominance again because it looks to me like we're on the rise. There's a lot of pressure. And of course, it needs to be rising because we want Bitcoin to go up. With yes, the dominance over 64% again. I could even see a hike up to 65, possibly even 66 if we're going to do another all time high. That dominance is just going to put pressure. Now, if Bitcoin does pumping and the dominance is up, your altcoins will pump with. But if Bitcoin then retracing and that dominance remains the same, your altcoins will dump, right? That's the rule. That's why the dominance is just so important. Now, when dominance is dropping while Bitcoin is pumping, that's when your alts are rallying. So I'm going to make a graph about it so everybody can, just a little bit fancier than I had it last time, because I wrote down these rules, what happens in the market, that dominance cycle. And I know that everybody's saying like, yeah, look, well, I just hold meme token. I'm just out here, uh, doing the memes, and I don't look at Bitcoin. I don't need to look at, no, you need to look at that stuff, because your memes will behave, uh, accordingly. So it's just the pressure of all of the market, and Bitcoin is the one that pumps all of our bags. So, you got to um, at least check it every once in a while if you want to just have a little bit of insight on what's going on. Yeah, let's look at that Bitcoin chart. And then I'm going to pull up the volume right here in my bot area and check the volume on Bitcoin and see if that has been increasing, because I'd like to see. Yes, it has. It's 31.7 billion today. That's good. Let's have a look at Ethereum. So we're slowly on the rise again with the volume 19.2. So I would say if 10 billion more comes into that zone of 40, 50 billion, we're pumping, right? We're going to that previous all time high. Now, it's not evident for me that we're going to make another all time high. It's not evident for me at all. It looks good. I have more arguments for it day by day by day. The more bullish Bitcoin will stay up there and sideways. But there are some things in the chart that are speaking against this, right? So we just have to see. There are also some dates that are really speaking against this. So if we're looking for an all time high, we kind of need to go there before the 9th of June. And because there's a lot of stuff coming out that could possibly also be bearish for Bitcoin right around that time. And so, also before the summer, there has never been a crypto summer that is booming. Now, are we going to get an alt rally before everything in July? Everything will start to fizzle out, and then August will be very bearish, and beginning of September, usually there is max pain over there. So somewhere in that region. So just keep an eye on that. We see Sui is still dealing with the $4 resistance, as is Solana with its resistance on that 170 all the way up to 180. That is going to be a deal for Solana right there. And then the next thing that it bumps up against is going to be that 190 to 200. That is a big deal there for Solana too. So we kind of need an all rally for these tokens to pump over these resistance levels. That's what needs to happen. If that's not happening, we're not getting over any of that resistance anytime soon. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, there's some red in the market because the dominance is rising, but I still think we're at least going to go for the all-time high. I'm not doubting any of that. So, these dips, in my opinion, are blessings. Anytime it comes down, as stack some and just wait for that to happen. And then we got to pay attention, another all-time high or not, because possibly we need to scalp our bags there a little bit before the summertime. But I've been on repeat with that for a little bit, you guys. So, yeah, Tick, is there anything you wanted to mention around the market?
Nothing really worth mentioning off the top. Other than the things that I've sent you. Yeah, I like to kind of like speculate on what's going on with all the degen stuff, just because it kind of gives me an idea of what's the overall like psychology in the market right now. Kind of seeing which coins are firing on Phantom and Dex Screener and stuff like that. Kind of like seeing where the narrative lies. And like lately it's been like the launch narrative with launch coin today is up 12.64. It's crazy because I fade these projects because I see so many repeats that it's like I don't even want to try to get in and get out and try to get profit doing that with it's just, and also the entry is just way too high on all of them. Usually they're already at on their way to 10 million market cap by the time I see them popping, and it's like I don't feel like dumping in that late. But yeah, I just did want to bring it up though that this launch coin today at 26 cents. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, of course there are some things that are just in the narrative in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not long-term narratives, right? Because the biggest narrative in the sphere in the market right now is the AI narrative. That's the biggest narrative. Anything AI in all season will go do crazy numbers. That's just the thing. I know
True.
people who have a whole portfolio stacked in AI, I'm like, all right, yeah, I have a little bit in the AI corner. Think it's smart. But yeah, whole portfolio in there. They believe, right? But it's so strong. So every time Bitcoin does a little pump, that whole AI narrative comes up, and we saw it a little bit with all these AI launching platforms now being developed, right? But there is kind of a flood
Mm-hmm.
in there, so that's kind of bearish at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, and then of course we have the daily trend, right? The daily pump, and these are what you just said, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. I just kind of want to touch on a little bit of an article before
Nice.
we go ahead with all of it. Don't sleep on executive orders. Analysts warn ahead of Trump's meme coin gala with Vance Bitcoin 2025. Let's see what that's all about. Since taking office, President Donald Trump has issued two executive orders focused on cryptocurrency. Despite multiple deadlines passing, the administration has yet to share any meaningful updates on their progress. That could change within the next 9 days. Analysts at K33 say, pointing to the upcoming crypto related appearance by Trump and Vice President JD Vance, with potential market implications. Yeah, note that, right? Trump's first crypto related executive order issued on January 23rd aimed to bolster U.S. dominance in the digital asset sector by forming a working group to assess existing regulations and guidance. The order set three deadlines: identify current guidance by February 22nd, recommend which standard to retain by March 24th, and deliver a final report by July 22nd, outlining next steps for regulatory frameworks and criteria for the U.S. digital asset stockpile. A second order issued March 6th centered on creating a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve, established from the approximate 200,000 Bitcoin, worth 20 billion, already owned by the federal government that was forfeited as part of criminal or civil proceedings, minus those that still need to be returned to victims of crime. It required agencies to identify current crypto holdings by April 5th and tasked the Treasury with evaluating legal and budget neutral investment considerations to acquire additional Bitcoin for the reserve by May 5th. Both deadlines have passed without public updates. Policy developments remain a key underappreciated. Oh, hold on. Policy developments remain a key underappreciated catalyst in the crypto market, K33 head of research Vettel Lunde and senior analyst David Zimmerman noted in a Tuesday report, adding, don't sleep on the executive orders. While
Mm.
information on the orders has been sparse so far, President Trump controversial meme coin gala on May 22nd, in 2 days from now, you guys, and Vice President JD Vance keynote at Bitcoin 2025, and that's going to be on May 28th, could shed some light on the situation. We believe the strategic Bitcoin reserve remains unappreciated by the market and expect information on this front to enforce robust Bitcoin performance ahead, right? And then we have a nice figure there. So yeah, there's got a lot on.
I think. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt if you
No,
had
go
more.
go ahead. No, there's a little bit more, but I don't see any added value in that. They're going on a little bit more about Bitfinex Leo token and some more. So they're basically sometimes what happens in these articles is that they do this nice story with information that's really good, and then at the end of it, they're kind of doing like a soft shoe. So
Right.
yeah, so that what's going on. I see Rob wants to come up. With, yeah, Risk, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. First time tuning into the Wild Show here. You blow my DMs up on it every day, so I
Yes,
figured
I
I
do.
needed to come in and see what it's all about. Um,
Yes.
but I like what I'm hearing already. Very good information. One thing that I heard you say in there is that in all of the strategic reserve, we obviously know about the summit meeting not too long ago and all of that, where they all kind of came together. Didn't really get too much information out of that. All we know is that it was a big hype session. But I'm bullish as fuck on all this, man. And you I go into spaces all the time. I listen in. Sometimes I just kind of sit in the shadows, but I listen to what everybody's talking about. And a lot of these guys in crypto, they change their mind within 30 minutes. And it's
Yes.
like one day they're bullish, one day, they're following and that's what I love hate about the X space crypto deal is that these guys they follow the trend, right? What's everybody talking about? Is
Mhm.
it bullish or is it bearish? And they'll take the words of these influencers and be they're all saying it's bear. I was in one the other day, and this is when we were at 184 on Solana or whatever it was, and like, oh, this is the top. I'm gonna put my short in now, and I'm gonna watch it ride down back to 130 or some bullshit like that. And I'm like, man, I can't believe you guys aren't bullish on this for as long as you've done this, and all of the news and everything that's coming out,
Mhm.
it's all bullish, man. And I'm with it, man. And I don't change my mind. I'm in this. I can hold. Here's the deal, man. If you can't afford to hold the crypto, then don't buy it. If you're gonna be, if you're the majority of your portfolio is being used to buy and trade, and you're taking losses every day, just hold the fucking coin, and see what happens, and there's all types of things. One thing I heard you say, Wild, though, is I believe it was in July they made a commitment to give us more information about how they proceed on moving forward with the reserves, all of this kind of funny money that we're hearing about.
Yes.
The 200,000 Bitcoin equivalent to 20 billion. That's a big fucking number,
Yep.
and
I have
I'm
the
excited as hell to hear about what they're going to be doing with all that.
exactly, and I'm going to make a post later with a graphic of so everybody has a visual overview of these deadlines, right, and when it needs to come out, so everybody knows, and you can mark it on your calendar, and check all that out for yourself. I mean, I'm interested in that, so so I'm going to make a post later and give you a visual. But what you were saying, Risk, is so much. Look, I shared it today. Time is your friend. Look at that graph that I showed, that I pinned up in the pinned post. This is how it works, right? So um, patient patient hands will always be rewarded. It market
100%.
market favors the patient hands. That is just, I cannot make it any more clear. And so every day we go over, okay, what is then your strategy in it, right? Because you need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan for your money, you will never be able to manage big amounts of money if you cannot manage $10, right? If you don't respect the $10, you're not going to respect a million just
True.
because it's a million, right? So
100%.
yeah, you got to learn how to build a portfolio for yourself that is somewhat minimize risk, right? So you manage your risk
Yes.
there.
Risk.
Your risk, yep. Sure, you're gonna have some. I have some fun too. The name of the game is that okay, you're never all in. You always stay a little bit liquid for opportunity, right?
Yes.
So you don't need to rotate out of a position that you
You just
work
need to
on.
buy more.
Yeah, right. So you stay liquid for part of your portfolio is in USDT, you guys. It's not all right. So let's say you have 5 to 10 tokens, projects that you're bullish on, you invest in, and maybe 2 or 3 of those are meme tokens, right? Whatever, whatever you fancy, and so, but a part of that is also USDT. Yeah. So when something comes up, you can make use of that opportunity with your USDT.
Exactly.
See where I'm getting at? Or else you got to sell your XRP bag, your Solana bag, or whatever, or your meme token position, and you're gonna sell, rotate out, and then to make use of a
You're going to lose your
opportunity.
position.
Yeah, you're liquidating yourself because the thing is, we see these opportunities on the daily, but most of the opportunities are not opportunities; they're rugs. So you also got to learn how to spot opportunity against the rugs. Yeah. So
Do y'all
look at
shill
the.
in here? Do y'all shill
Absolutely.
tokens?
That's the name of the
You can
show. Yeah.
show. Look. We just had it here. AXOL is featured yesterday on What's the Ticker, and the chart responded, right?
Mm-hmm.
So shilling in here works. Yesterday we had a big old grand space. Today it's a little bit, more relaxed, but we're here on the daily. For everybody, we put you on blast. If you have something good, we live stream this space on X and on YouTube, right? So while we're in this space, we're also people on YouTube can watch and listen in, and Tick is always pulling up the charts and the projects that we talk about and giving a visual information, and so people on X and YouTube are listening in and watching, and then the best things that we think like, oh, this is bullish. There's actually somebody behind it. There's, sounds legit. Then we put it on blast over Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok because we make these shorts, we clip it up, and then the next day, within 24 hours, we'll be posting all of that out, and we're actually getting a lot of eyes on it.
Yeah.
And so that's the brand is What's the Ticker, right? The website in the making, everything. We have our own, line of songs and music and stuff. So I really enjoy doing this because I'm going to be full time in Web3, just before the summer. So yeah, so that's happening. I'm excited about that. Um,
Well,
but yeah,
Wild, I'd like to have you on the. If you ever get a chance and you're free, I know you work your tail off, but if you ever get a chance, I'd like to have you on the Risk Radio as well. Sometimes we'll host a Shark Tank, and it sounds like you've got some valuable input that you can put in on the projects coming up and all that stuff. So, and you're consistent. You're constantly active. You're good at that, but I wanted to shill one thing, and I don't shill too, I don't run around spaces shilling coins or anything, but this
Mm-hmm.
guy's a really good friend of mine that I've known in the space for a while. Y'all probably might know him. His name's Michael Oates. And
yes,
he has been a great, I test people with time, anybody can come up here and say whatever, but the people that have hung around and are constantly showing up, those are the people that I trust because that's all you have to go off of in this
yes.
space.
So
Uh,
before you start, I just want to tell you, I know Mikey, I know Nadina, right? I know Ern. I've been
oh, good,
with Ern. I've been actually in the beginning did a lot of spaces for Earn too, and yeah, legit people in the space. I'm also a part of MMKK, right? So
good.
just so you know that I know.
Okay, good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna just let people because I thought it was pretty interesting that the ticker earn is multi-chain to where you could buy it on Ethereum, you can buy it on Solana, you can buy it. I think there's 6 different chains it's on now, and um, I noticed the project because he's in my group DM. I have a big group DM with everybody in there, and he's constantly showing up every day. And I noticed him, and the thing about Michael is that he specializes in liquidity, and the way he's got this thing set up, man, is pretty sweet. If I were to create another token, I would do it like this. I might change a little things with supply and all of that because I fascinate by how supply is controlled. But it's very nice. And now that he's planning on launching on Sui, I think that that will be
Yes.
fucking massive.
Hmm. I
You
had
know?
him. He actually did a shill in the space yesterday. Maybe you missed it. I had Mikey on stage with me. And
Oh, good.
yeah, so let me tell you about Earn. Earn is a hyper uh, deflation token on Ethereum. So if you hold on the Ethereum side, you're actually getting reflections. So 2% of every buy, sell, and transfer is being reflected back to the holders. The biggest holder is a dead wallet, and that's what makes it deflationary because it's the biggest holder. It burns the most, right? Because if it's sent to a dead wallet, these tokens are never coming back. So that supply is shrinking, shrinking, and ever shrinking. Now, they do share their supply multi chain. So they are on AVEX, Solana. What is it? They're now going to be on Sui, although
BNB,
I will
Base,
touch on that.
AVAX.
BNB, Base, right? And so There it's not a reflection token, right? Because these mechanisms don't work at the same time, because it's not the same contract. But it's a deflationary token still, because there's going to be arbitrage trading between the chains, right? And so it will be deflationary. So what you hold on these other chains will be increasing in value over time. And now they're launching on Sui. However, there is still that plugin for Sui that is, because Sui is new, so it's going to be its own reward token on there for now, right? Until it can make the technical connection, to Ethereum and figure that out, figure a bridge out some sort of way, because a wormhole will not work in that regard. So bullish on it. I don't know, Tick, if you had the information from yesterday, so we can pull up the TG for the launch if you
Yeah.
guys want to join that pre-launch TG. I know Mikey is always launching a fair launch, right? So everybody's welcome in the TG. The more, the merrier. Just remember that there's always that initial volatility, and it's going to be sniped and all of that, right? And you might want to wait for pullbacks if you want to go ape, right? So that's, I know Mikey always gives that advice, and I'm just all about that as well. But everybody can join. There's no private group somewhere in the back office, right? All shady. No, it's all out there. You can join the TG and get in on the fun, right? So I don't know if you can pull up that TG.
Let's see.
Get in
Well,
on the
I can't pull up TG on the live because that's a different app, just web
oh,
based programs. But
oh
I
yeah,
do have their
yeah,
X page open. So the X page is buy, hold, earn
mm-hmm.
is the handle, and then you can access their website through
Let
there,
me see.
which
Let me look at Mikey.
Yeah, he's can. I talked to him this morning. He was in a space this morning. I said, "Man, I'm just gonna fire up a space for you, and we'll get some people because it was only him in there." And I was like, "Man, I'm gonna
Yeah.
fire one up for you." So I
Well, yeah,
scheduled it for about two, I think today, about
yeah.
or 1.5 hours.
Well, like I said, we share some whale groups together too. I have known Earn for a long time. They're very consistent. They also have a good NFT collection that gathers these reflections too, right? So there's something to it as well. But yeah, we just got it. There's so much to that project, Earn, that it's going to take a long time to unpack. So we just have to get Mikey back in here and have him spend a little bit more. I know he needed to be somewhere else yesterday too, so there is that. But I will hunt down the TG and have it linked up in
oh,
here
here
so
it
you can.
is. Here it is. I found
You
it.
got it?
It's on the CoinGecko. You can access it. So it's
No, I
T.
was meaning the no, no, not the TG for Earn, the TG for the launch on Sui, and it's probably on their X page.
Mm,
He had it. He had it pinned up yesterday. I know. It's just I forgot.
here I found, or yeah, I found it. So
Yeah,
here's the link. Cool.
yeah, for
Sorry,
the
I
TG.
was reading. I was trying to read something as I was listening, and I
Yeah.
had a.
So it is going to be a reward token on Sui, and it's going to be related to Earn. And later on in the future, and you guys, this takes a lot of time to build, because you cannot just build a bridge to Sui, right? Phantom took 3 months to do it. I know Podchain got Solana on their assortment of chains, and it took them half a year to build, to figure out. It's really, it's rough. So for now, it will be in its own right, a token, until it can connect to the ETH side, and so bullish on it. So we have that pinned up, and
Yes, I went ahead and pinned up the TG
yes. So
URL.
yeah, the URL is now pinned up in the space, so you guys can, if you want to ape on Sui with Earn, then you can go ahead and pre-launch TG and wait for. Also, when you're in there and the information is given, it's always Mikey, the dev, who gives out the CA. Do not take anything else, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there might be a scammer
I
in there.
think there's a pre-sale as well going on right now
Oh,
on it.
yeah. Well, let's have a look then,
For
right?
Sui?
Let's jump in there.
Yeah, there's a pre-sale already going on. I'm hosting a space in an hour and a half with him, and he's gonna
All
go
right.
over all the details on the pre-sale.
Oh, cool. Well, you guys just give a follow to Risk if you are interested in that, and follow him into the space, right? If you are gonna ape on Sui, shameless shill, from Wild here. You go to my bio, there is a link in there for Raid and X. It's my referral link. Thank you very much if you're signing up through it. It is a Bull X for Sui chain, right? So same thing through the TG, and then you can pull it up on your web browser, and you can do the live pairs, search any token there. You always get the right pool, right? So it's made for Sui. So go ahead and sign up with it. Thank you very much. It's just faster, you guys. It's the Insta 8 button. It has a lot of features that I really, really enjoy, that I think are even better than BullX, because it's just a cleaner interface. And yeah, so get yourself acquainted with it, because Sui, there's going to be a lot of aping on Sui in the future as well. So just to get that set up is going to be a smart move, right? It's not going to cost you any money to do it. I see Bitcoin is meanwhile pumping to 106, trying to make something of it, trying to pull up. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. We're curling back up on the daily, and we're curling back up on the 4th hour. And then I see another move to 107, 151. That would be a target for me up there. I can even see it doing that. Let me look on the lower time frame.
This is so
Yes,
sick. Being able to
yes,
just
I can.
watch this.
Well, I've been trying to watch the money flow, where it comes from in Bitcoin, and a lot of the pumps previously, like in November, October, it was a lot of Asia buying, but
Hmm.
now there's a lot of United States buying, right? And so, yeah, if I just overlap that information with what is going on in the chart, then I can see that, possibly 6 to 8 hours from now, I'm expecting a move up to that 107 range. And then we're getting very, very close to that all time high. Just remember that there is a shit ton of bears up there, right? There is that heat
Yeah.
map is hot up there. So we are going to get rejected from it. That's just the first time attacking on a previous all-time high is going to lead to a rejection. That should happen. There's orders there, right? And so but yeah, touching it is good. It makes us bullish, and then we'll see for another all-time high. What I need to see is that we get that rejection, but it's not going to be a rough one. I like to see is getting a slap on the wrist there from the Bears, right? But not a punch in the face that sends us all the way back to 101, or even maybe a little bit lower. So, yeah, watch that chart. Of course, I'm going to be looking at it for like a hawk. Not going to lie, I have a big screen on my wall. Um, I actually upgraded to something really bigger. So Bitcoin is always on there. My alerts are always on there. So, I even wake up for it if it pumps, because then I will be trading, right? I have my trades in, so I'm a future trader. Um, if I trade, right, I swing a future trader, and I like to catch things on the daily, and sometimes I swing trade on the 2 3 hour, and so yeah, there's that. So I'm always looking at Bitcoin, but it's kind of like the moves we need to make is that all-time high, and then we need to see how are we getting that rejection, right? How are we going to receive that rejection? And that's going to be all telling for another all-time high. So for Ryla here to get bullish, it's like we're going to 1.9, and then maybe get like a slap on the wrist to 105 again, to retouch these areas, 106, right? To retouch that as support, and then hover there again like we're doing now, and then we it will rip to a crazy all-time high if that happens. But if we are going to be sent back further, then I'm a little neither here nor there on it then. It becomes less likely for us to make an all-time high. I know everybody on the timeline is very, very bullish on this, but I don't listen to what people say. I don't listen even to my own emotions and what I want to see in the chart. Of course, I want us to pump to Valhalla as soon as possible, but I'm just dealing with what I'm seeing, and I let that information come upon me, right? Um, so yeah. So let's have a look at that gift wrap. But thank you for coming, Risk, and telling us again. Remind us about Earn, and that's a good shill. Yeah, if you're shilling something, shill something of value, right? So
100%,
Hmm.
100%. Yeah, like I said, I don't shill much, but on projects like that, I feel safe with showing it to the communities because
Mhm.
I'm not going to get any heat for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
one thing that y'all are
Yeah.
talking about earlier is that
Mhm.
launch coin. Uh, Man, that meta that is so hot right now. I don't know if y'all were around the day that dropped, but the previous day I was in on Vuvu as well. Got in on that at the beginning. But the problem with that launch coin was they launched like five of them in the morning, and everybody was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then they launched. I was following their page, and I was like, "Okay, this one that he's launching at night, that's probably the one." So I went in there. He dropped the CA. I bought in at like 15K, 20K, bro, and I fucking sold at like 150K, bro.
Ooh.
And oh my god, I
Oh my
wish,
God.
bro, that's the biggest fade I've ever had. I
Right.
put in.
So here, let me give you this alpha,
Oof.
right? Because a lot of people have weird expectations in their mind, but it never plays out this way. If you get in at such a low market cap, right, this is what happens. When as soon as you are on your 10x and it hits below 100, you anybody in the right mind would sell. So don't feel bad about that because that
Mm-hmm.
strategy that you have, we're not in all season yet.
I should have
So
held like a little bit though.
yeah,
You know what I
should have.
mean?
Yeah, you possibly should have not sold all the bag. I'm never, I'm against selling all the bag, right? Leave a little moon if it looks bullish and has a vibe, then leave the moon back in there. Just, so you don't miss out on any more pumps. But the thing is, you have rules that you stick by when you ape like this, right? And the majority of the tokens, 95, I would even say 98%, will not even get there. So you have when you sold was the right way, right? For you to behave, to be in profit and not get liquidated. And then the one time that you get a sender like that, you be sitting there like, ah, shit, I sold too early. But if you are never selling these tokens, you get liquidated left and right all the time, right? So because we're not in all season yet, these things are just on the daily. You never know. It depends on volume. Like I said, Bitcoin is very much in the bull run, but the rest is absolutely not, right? So Bitcoin is making all-time highs. Where do I see Solana now almost against its all-time high? No, right? So Bitcoin is bullish. The whole market bull cycle for Bitcoin is going on, and we need all season for to have the biggest gains and to be able to say like, look, I can leave this bag and I expect it to do more. But you not spray and pray like that. Uh, all the time because that's going to cost you an awful lot of money and you won't have any bags left for all season, right? So you did the right thing. By any standard, you should have sold, right? So it's that one sender then that slips through your hand because of your rules, but these rules keep you liquid and alive on the
Correct. They
regular,
keep
right?
food on the table.
They
Yep.
keep food on the table, so you cannot be busting your balls with that. You cannot be doing that. It happens and bless the people who had the pump, right? Bless the people who kind of sat there, maybe forgot about it for a few hours and then come back and be like, what the, right? So usually it happens, these senders are for people who you happen to forget about it, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, right? So it's the same with Bitcoin, you guys. If you would have got Bitcoin at $5, you would have sold the Bitcoin when Bitcoin was $100. You would be like, oh my god. And you should, right? It's the people that got it in around that early Bitcoin and then forgot that they had Bitcoin, that Bitcoin was 66K, and they were like, oh my god, right? And there were people out on the freaking trash piles looking for their hard drive because they
Mm-hmm.
knew they had Bitcoin, but
Oh hell yeah.
right, because they knew they had Bitcoin, but they forgot about it. And so the whole thing is time in the market versus timing the market, right? This is the whole thing. You need to hodl, especially Bitcoin works. But then with meme coins, your hodling is not working, is working against you because, usually they're rugs and you never know when it's going to rug. And this token might even rug too in a couple of days. So, the odds are so against you there that you
Yeah.
behaving and selling when you did is a good thing, right? That's a good thing. I see Zero has his hands up. How you doing, Zero? Welcome on stage.
Hello, Wild. Hello, Tick. Hello, everyone
Hey,
here.
good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you to having me up. Well, I just want to ask you, Wild, a thing, because when I trade meme coins, I want to ask you because if I put a trade at a low market cap on a meme coins, like this morning I did some like from 10K and I put like $50 for Miss the Dart, and then it went up like 300%. So what I do, I fully the first thing that I do, I took out my initials and I let it go. And when it arrived like 250 percent or 300, I fully clip. What is the advantage or disadvantage doing that move?
Well, you're dealing. You don't have like a really large bag, right? So your price impact, your price impact should always be within 5%. If you're trading regularly with these meme coins, sometimes you just got to clip because you don't know what you're in, and it can rug in any moment now, right? And the problem is with these low market caps that you have that nice upside potential, but when it reaches like 60K, right, market cap, and somebody if somebody clips $300, it takes initially, depending on liquidity, but it can take you down 20%. And so it will, you kind of have to. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I hate trading like that because I think it's nervous trading, and I need to look at the charts, and I need to look at the 5-second chart, and it's just, I make more money with my futures. I'm making bangers some, there, and it's something that is under 2-3 hours, so that takes all day. I do not need to watch the chart. I put my limit in my target, right? So everything's on basically auto. It's very relaxing. But yeah, if you are trading this way, no, it's a good thing. See,
Yeah,
look
there's
at
not
it. Yeah.
there's not error or disrespectful for other people because in when we trade meme coins, I saw everybody is
Look,
doing their profit,
these
right?
these meme these meme. If you are into flipping a bag on possible rugs like that on Pump Fun, yeah, that's the way you should behave because it's P2P over there, and it's you as holders against the one that launched the token that could possibly rug you at any time, right?
Yes,
Yeah, it's like a Wild West show. It's kind of the casino, right? It's a Russian roulette
absolutely.
almost. So if people are screaming their hold, and then the dev is selling on you, yeah,
Well, I
Yeah, yeah,
think
I
you got.
consider it.
not
Sorry.
all at once. Not all at once. No, but yeah, that's the name of the game over there, and some people like it. I do not like it. I think it's very nervous way of trading. But yeah, there's no if you're in profit, you're in profit. You got to do you. So there's that, right? We have Raw on stage as well. Raw, how are you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I was
Hey,
on Instagram. I was trying to reply to some friends on there. But
Yeah, yeah.
how you guys doing today?
doing well, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. You too. I just had some breakfast. I was delaying it. I don't know why, but I didn't want to cook, and so I finally did it. I finally accomplished something today.
Get cooking. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate cooking,
Uh,
man. I hate cooking.
hey,
Oh,
hey,
dude.
Wild.
I
I
can
just
barbecue. I
Hold
can
on, hold
barbecue
on.
all day long, but when it comes
You're
to
Texan,
dealing with the
aren't you?
stove, it's not my
No.
thing.
Hold on, you guys. Not all at once because I cannot hear one or another. Uh, what were you saying, Raw? You were
No, I
cooking.
was I, I would say I could barbecue all day long, but when it comes to the stove, it's not for me, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do that outdoor cooking all the time here, you guys. I love it, right? As soon as, there's a little bit, the weather allows me to, I'll be out on the fire, cooking on open fire. I love doing that stuff. It just saves me so much work in the kitchen, right? And cleaning up and everything. So I'm just so happy with that all the time, Put some steaks
Oh
in there,
yeah.
some chicken, and just let it just sit outside enjoying. Yes, I love that stuff.
So I didn't want to make this a food space, but
Yes, we'll need
so
Sam for that.
every space turns into workout and food. I'm gonna change that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so are you guys on Longitron?
I am.
You are? How do you like it?
Well, I haven't looked because it was this morning in lamp space, and so I was kind of not gonna lie, I was a little bit peeved that everybody was in there. It was like Mac and I were not in there. Just but we got in there, and but then a lot of work came my way, and I just came home like an hour and 15 minutes ago. So I still need to go through all of that and a lot. But what I heard about it, I mean, is great, right? Um, I
Well,
think
I
it's
mean, I haven't played with it yet. I have it like right here on my monitor. But
Mhm.
I'm not skeptical. I'm just trying to be soft food because
Yeah,
I've lost like a lot of money in meme coins already,
yeah,
and I'm really taking it slow now and
yes, good.
not dude. I've lost more than what I wanted to. I don't want to count it, but you
Yes, can
know,
be confrontating. So look, I always tell people trading is very boring. Should be very boring. If you are more inclined to do that aping around, that says a lot about you. And I think you kind of need to look at that sometimes, and why you are attracted to that drama and these hype feelings, right, all the time, because that might be something inside of you that is not correct, working with your finance this way, if you get what I'm saying, if you feel me.
yeah,
But
well,
that,
I'm new to it, so I
yeah,
started in January with
yeah,
with meme coins, and I made money with Bark,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I've lost money on my own, and so
yeah.
anyone in here that's new that's messing around with meme coins and
Hmm.
you don't know what you're doing, don't do it, and maybe learn about it and take a step back
Well,
for a
you
little
can
bit.
do it, but you need to have a portfolio to buffer against your losses there, because you are going to have losses there, especially in the beginning, and especially if you're alone. So here's the thing. Here's the problem with these things. Let's say you are new, right? You do two meme tokens, and the third one is 100x. So now you thinking that, one out of three tokens will do 100x for you, which is not true. You just got very, very lucky that one time.
Right.
So let's say you bag 10 grand. How do you think you're going to behave with your 10 grand? You're going to buy
Well,
more of these shit meme tokens. Yeah.
most people are gonna just ape it, you
But
know.
exactly, right? Instead of thinking, hey, maybe I should buy 3K worth of Bitcoin, get some XRP, maybe get some whatever you like, right? Build a portfolio, and I keep $1,000 to ape around in meme coins with furthermore, right? That would be smart. But that's not going to happen, because that's not how you're going to think, because that's not what it did before. So you're going to be like, I'm going to be aping around with the 10 G's and try and turn it into 100 G's.
Right.
But the odds there are so much against you, because you got lucky ones. You're expecting every meme token to do something that you're in, which is
Yep.
against that. The odds are there against you. So you're going to make 10 G's, but then lose it all again using the same mechanism as how you got it.
Yeah. No,
Easy come, easy
I
go.
know. And so, go ahead, Tick.
So my bad. I was just saying, easy come, easy go. I understand that
That's it.
principle.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So
So,
that's the yeah. It's look. If you have not have a plan, you are gonna repeat what you know, right? So that's why I always say have a plan. It's very easy, very boring, right? I know, but you got to do it, because especially if you find it boring, because that means that you're just more inclined to do these aping around stuffs, right? That's more you. You get more of a pool there, more attracted to that, right? And that is because you possibly are looking for quick money, right? Which, and in with all due respect, you guys, if I keep saying it, if you bought Bitcoin on the daily for the last 4 years, you would be up 40%. Now I know that sounds not so sexy in comparison to 100x, but it would have done so safely for you without worries. And you haven't looked at the chart, right? You just bought Bitcoin on the top, Bitcoin on the bottom, wherever. You would have faded and round tripped Bitcoin for a whole bull run, and you still be up 40%. See what I'm trying to get at? So, um, my kid does it, right? So it's very boring, but over time you can do 20x, 40x. And it's very boring. But where can you get that in the real world, my guy? Where? Tell me, right?
No,
Like,
I know,
yeah,
I know, and honestly, I think we all wish we would have bought Bitcoin a lot sooner. Um,
yeah.
you know,
Well, I could say
I was, hey, I was the most hard headed guy against Bitcoin. I hated it. I don't
that's
even know
sad.
why. You
Well, I
know,
know why, because I'm a psychologist as well. I know why. We think Bitcoin is too expensive, but Bitcoin is only going up. So
well,
right now,
that wasn't why I did it. That
yeah.
wasn't why I'm kind of more old school, and I was like, fuck this, crypto stuff. I don't know why I was
Oh,
like
you
that.
were against crypto on its own. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was against it, and even in like 2020, like I had a little powwow with my family, and they were all talking about crypto, and I was like, screw that stuff. I don't want anything to do with it. It's all
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
zero. You know, and man, I mean, honestly, it was the stupidest thing I could, and I learned from Bitcoin taught me a lot, man.
Yeah.
I learned not to be so closed minded to new things that and about investing,
Yes.
and to really look into things more. I didn't know anything about investing back then.
Yeah,
Um,
well, because you don't know it, right? And look, it's not like we don't get any news on Bitcoin, and the news on Bitcoin has not been very positive the last decade, right? So, right now that's starting to shift,
Yeah,
because
I
yeah,
tell people, I tell like people about it, and I'm just gonna stop because honestly, they were just like how I was, back then,
yeah.
just
Well,
hard
front.
headed about it,
You know
not wanting
what?
to deal with
They
it.
don't want to hear about it. Front run them. If that are you asking for it, I'm trying to inform you. Look, if I'm on a date, and sometimes I would say like, oh, how do you feel about crypto, right? Because it's an important part of my life. I enjoy it. I do TA. I'm a trader, and they go like, yeah, well, isn't that a scam? Well, I'm out right then and there. I'm getting my jacket. I'm like, bye, see ya, next, right? I cannot deal, right? I cannot deal. Just, I'm front running everybody. Look, the governments are now looking to get Bitcoin, right? So, I keep telling people in my surroundings too, you get some freaking Bitcoin. It's not expensive at all, right? Because you want these meme tokens because you think more upside potential, but the downside potential is just equal to your upside potential, especially if you're buying low market cap. Now, you're not wrong for doing it, but I'm not judging anybody. You should buy what you want to buy. But if you want to be successful, you need to buffer against that risk because you are moving into very much riskier waters, if not constant scamming around, right? So you're basically back alleying stuff, right? So you need to be good on the other end with it. And so a nice strategy would be, okay, well, get some Bitcoin on a daily, make that coffee at home instead of buying it. Stop buying plastic shit you don't need, or clothing you don't need, or more stuff you don't need, and buy $3, $4, $5 worth of Bitcoin on the daily, and do that on an exchange, because then the fees will make sense. And then as soon as you hit $300 worth or $500 worth, you send it to your ledger, and that is going to be stacking your sats, right? And that's very easy to do. It's just behavior that you then got to display. So you would have spent it on coffee anyway, so it's nothing out of your pocket there, right? Extra. And you'd be good, right? You'd be so good for the future. So Bitcoin is the only one that you can long haul like that. And I'm for me, my Bitcoin is for 10, 20 years from now. I'm not even, I'm FOMOing constantly that I don't have enough. So uh, there is that. But yeah, the meme coin thing, blue chip meme coins for me are a little bit different, right? And then I am gonna look at the biggest coins on these chains, different chains. I'm looking at Brett on Base, Andy on BNB, Pepe on ETH, right? These will all run in alt season, right? They are established already, and these have a lot. Their market cap is higher, so that means that they're less volatile, but they would do the numbers. And of course, big narrative this cycle is going to be AI, and then the second narrative just below there is going to be gaming, right? So there's that going on, and so like I said, a portfolio is kind of what you want, but yeah, I would say, um, I'd stack my sats, right, my satoshi, my Bitcoin, and then I'm looking for a layer one, possibly also a layer one that I want to then later on move into the ecosystem with. So, Solana, Sui, right? And then for Solana, my Solana is for the AI tokens on Solana that I'm going to roll into. Sui is going to be for the utility and the memes that I'm going to roll into. And I have some, of course, I hold XRP, right? And that is also a long haul. So, I make use of a DCA strategy with the layer ones, because they are more stable that way, and I risk manage with them a whole lot better than just with meme tokens, because it's so hard, you guys. If you DCA, you're always having a good average. Your bags are never down that much if the market's down, right? If not, always green, especially if you DCA for a longer time. So that is, and they're going to make you feel good about crypto. It's going to make you feel good about your financial decision there. It's going to make you feel very bearish if the only thing you're buying is going to be meme tokens, and these can take your portfolio down 40, 50, 60, 80% before they ever pull back up again. Now when they do, you're going to probably a few x that portfolio, but you're going to be so bearish in the meantime, right, that you're going to eat the bag and rethink all of your decisions ever made, because you're now looking at that bag being down so much. And the two issues with that: you max bid something, possibly top blasted something with all you had, no liquidity left, so you cannot average yourself down anymore, right? That is a problem. So you over invested in one thing, clearly. And then the second thing that happens is, okay, well, you might took a token that was too new, too high risk, right? And it's maybe never going to come back up again. So, that's not great to look at in your wallet. And so, that makes you bearish. And then you're going to be like, it's the project, it's the token, it's the this and that, it's the def, it's the. No, it's you, right? It's your money. And you didn't show it enough respect to do a little bit of research on how to go about it. So yeah, that's the elephant there. I think we should move on from that, because I feel like I'm on repeat sometimes with this. But I know a lot of people need to hear this if you're new in this space, because it's the wild west out here. When we invest in the stock market or gold, it's very obvious. We get in the stock market, there's businesses that will put together a portfolio or can advise you on a portfolio, right? They really take you by the hand when you enter the market there. When it's gold, we know what to do, but we're getting crypto on our own. And a lot of people getting rinsed and leave crypto because of it, because and they get cranky and start to fight crypto altogether, because they top blasted, bags was down, and then they sold at a loss. So I understand if you're new to crypto, that there's nothing for you. You got to figure it out on your own, right? And so just a warning there, but it's not all season yet. We have time to stag, right? And if you're getting dips, then you're lucky. But with these things that are more stable, if you just buy the DCA, is the way in the stock market, is the most successful way, and in crypto is the same, because the charts are always down more than they are up. When the pumps come, the pumps are not lasting a long time. These are the short moves in the market, and you see that on the chart. So if you DCA, you're automatically, just by the nature of things, are gonna buy more of the floor than the top. And this is time related, right? So the more time you let goes over, the more you will buy that floor. And then you have your exit strategy, and that should move a little quicker, because the chart is up very, very, time wise, very small amount of time that it does these pumps. And so when it pumps, you need to let go of a percentage of the bag, right? Sell 10%, and then you sell 20%. And it pumps some more, great, 30%, right? And by doing that, but then a little faster, you are automatically going to sell the most at the top or near the top. So forget about timing that market, because it's very easy to look at a chart and be like, oh, anybody can do this. I should have bought here and then I sell there. Yes, that's all good until you buy, and then suddenly you don't know where the chart goes anymore, right? And then the dip just keeps dipping, and you're like, what, right? Because To look back on the chart, it's very evident where you should have bought and you should have sold. But even traders do not. If we get Pico bottom and sell Pico top, that was a fantastic trade. It stands out, right? For most traders, is hey, profit is profit. Near the top is fine too. Yeah, that's the fun then. I want to move on then to do the give rep thing.
Yes.
So we pull up the give rep. I'm gonna pull up mine up as well. Let's go and fix this over here.
Yeah, this has been blowing up on Twitter.
Yes.
The first place guy, he actually just added me on X yesterday. His name is Bear Earn. I don't know if you know him, but yeah, his rep is at over 500,000. He's has
It's crazy.
500,000. But yeah, he added me on X yesterday, and I told him, I was like, hey man, like you should stop into the space to give us some alpha. And he responded. He was like, oh yeah, thanks, but I don't know what time zone he is. I'm pretty sure he's on your side of the world or Asia, because
well, send me the thing, and
his
I'll go hit him up.
yeah,
I'll
he's
talk
the
to everybody and everyone.
yeah, he's the number one on the rep board right now. I'll send you his link.
Yeah.
I did send you something on Telegram, but the more I've vetted it, now it's starting to look kind of sus. But it was a new Matt Fury coin, the Bucci. It had popped up on one of my call signal channels, and so I was like, I'm gonna look into this, see what it is, and it says Bucci by Matt Fury. But once I started looking at the creator, he only has one other token that he created 337 days ago that I've never heard of. That's the only thing I really can't tell, but it looks like that the holding, it's only bundled at like 11%. The top 10 holders is only 11%, which is pretty remarkable.
Yes, that's remarkable, but it also makes it look, there's something to say for bundling and there's something against bundling.
Oh.
So the argument for it. Hold on, I'm just trying to connect this application here. So if they do not control supply, depending on what chain it's on, if they do not control supply on Solana, I'm bearish. Because the sell pressure there is just so high. And so, for a team then to have a control over that supply is going to be an important thing. I also know that they're going to need supply for listings. So even a small listing will ask for, Binance is asking for a listing on Binance. That's crazy. They want 1.5 million USDT, and they want 45% of your supply.
Yeah, damn.
And Mexi's kind of cheap. Mexi's anywhere between 10 and 15K, but they do want 5-10% of your supply. So if you do not own the supply, what are you going to do then? Mexi's not going to buy it off the chart. So that's the thing, right? So supply control against the sell pressure. But then the argument against this is, all right, now the dev is controlling all of the supply and can dunk at us at any time. Yes, that's true as well. So it's bearish and bullish at the same time. So, but you do want some supply to be in hands of of developer, quote unquote, creator, right? Because there's no developing going on Pump Fund. These are creators. Anybody can launch a token there. Developer, build the CA, build the contract. There's no contract building there, so there's no developer. But yeah.
Did you look at the Bucci on Sol.xyz website?
No, not yet. I'm trying to hook up my my give rep thing because my mind is ready to just do one thing at a time.
Yeah, I can't tell
at this point in the day.
I can't tell from looking at this if it's it kind of looks like.
Don't be fooled by the top holders 11% because they could have bundled up in a way that this won't show up either, right?
Well,
so you never know for sure because I know the technology can actually do that.
Yeah, if you go on Dex Screener and look at the bubble maps, you can actually see that it is bundled. That let me see. So it says percentage 11.2, cluster percentage 21%. So it's a cluster of wallets, I believe, that actually add up to 21%. So if I think so, if I'm looking at this correctly. So I don't know. It's just really, it's hard to tell looking at it, but the website is like very elaborate, like in terms of the art that they've put into it.
Okay, so
So
here's just what I do. It I'll just start looking at that stuff, and it looks kind of bullish, and you're just like, all right, neither here nor there on the wallet division for any bundling. Go into the TG, man. That's the
yeah,
alpha.
I did.
You need to
Yeah.
get
So
in there. You need to ask questions, right? And you need to, or just sit and wait, see if there's team activity. If there, especially when it's just launched, they should be in there all the freaking time for
yeah.
4 days straight. Nobody sleeps, right, from a team in first 4 or 5 days. So I would say sometimes even 2 weeks. So they need to be in there, right? And so yeah, that's go into the TG, and if you have any questions and you just ask them decently, there should be somebody answering you. If you get banned straight up out of that TG, this is no good, right? Anything that would be sustainable over time would welcome a question and answer a question. Now don't make it a FUD question, like, hey, is this bundled up or what, right?
Right.
That is not the right way to go about these things, because there is such a thing as people funding in TGs for price to come down. So they're not going to allow you to go even in that bearish direction. But you can, you can, maybe they have a VC open or scheduled, right? You can join and ask some questions. Or, hey, is it going to be, you don't want a community member to answer your question. You want somebody from that team to answer your question. So, and most rugs won't even, the lazy ones. Now, that's not to say you're fully protected, but these are small things that you can do, because I know the lazy rugs will never answer any question and will just straight up ban you, right? So then you're not in the right place. But if they are, that's a good sign. Is it all green? No, it's a good sign, right, in the context of everything else. So yeah, but let's go to give rep. So here's how it works, right? Give reputation, because that's what rep stands for, is a project on Sui, and they were talking about it on the Sui base camp over in Dubai. And that week they started doing this kind of new form of sharing projects on Sui chain. And every time that you are tagging give rep in your post, when you get a comment, you earn one attention token. Um, that hasn't launched yet, right? So if you are using the handle at give rep in your post, for every comment, you're getting one attention token. Now, they also have loyalty programs. If you tag attention token separately, you'll be getting one attention token for 100 views. So this works a little bit differently. When you are tagging these loyalty programs in your post, you'll be getting a token every 100 views. Now that's the only one that airdrops then attention. The other ones are in USDC. And I gather that you're then just raking in points that will then be translated to USDC. So it's not one USDC for 100 views, I take it. Even though it said that my things were a dollar for 100 views, so that was kind of crazy. So you can join any of these loyalty programs, and kind of what they're looking for is that you need to make somewhat of a quality post about it. So I use attention token, because that's actually by tagging at give rep in your post, you mine attention token. That's how I call it. You're mining it, and it has not launched yet. And then that's basically you're working for the airdrop. So that's that. But then if you do any of the other loyalty programs, they are selecting on the post itself. So you cannot be just naming 6 things in there. You're also limiting it to, I think, 2 loyalty programs on top of your give rep. So you do add give rep, add attention token, and then you can do another one, but you cannot do like 6 or 7 in one go. And also, this would be very bearish for your X account, right? Because you don't want uh, to tag so many, because it's just too bearish. So you'll be getting bugged, right? And they want you to do so. Right now, the loyalty programs is Nemo Protocol, Nexa, Nodo, Ponchisu, Ika, Infinite Sui Glitch, which I'm bullish on actually, Astros, right? And then attention token also separately. So you do need to manually go to the website and join these programs, just simply tagging them won't activate it. So you need to do that. But I am going to look at because I did Raid and X for a while, and what did I do? Bluefin. So I'm going to the leaderboard. Oh, they're indexing the tweets now, and I think then we'll get paid. I haven't got paid from any of this as of yet, so there is that. But looking, what did I have? All right, so I have all of this, and I got $21 on Bluefin, and I started with Bluefin a little bit later, and I got $56 of my post, just a good morning post where I just explained this, and that was $56. So um, there is that, right? So possibly more income profitable than X altogether if you're monetized, I would say so. And this is just a new form of shilling that I'm bullish on, because if you haven't noticed, X, is just tightening all of that shilling to the point that people just got wrecked left and right, even if you had a blue tick that is not protecting you against any of that anymore. So we don't see that rating for, especially the fake engagement from raid teams that were hired to execute the raids, right? They got wrecked left and right. It's also not good engagement, because it also signals that the main page of a token would be affected with that low quality engagement, and deboosts the main account from a token actually. So using these teams as a form of showing people that it's active, because that's basically what it did. These things do not bring in new buyers if it's not organic, right? So, yeah, these all got wrecked. So we now have new systems, new ideas around it on how to get the word out for programs, and then this is the next best thing, right? So you need to tag, add, give, rep, and then look for your loyalty program, and that's basically how it works. Is that was that clear? I get a lot of DMs of people asking. All right, so the next then is, okay, how are you going to go about it with your posting? Because yeah, Elon doesn't like it if we just go ahead and tag under every comment. So my strategy here would be, do not comment under anybody with give rep, because now you're using your handle tagging power for max one rep that you're going to get back. See what I mean? So if I go to Tix, Tix says good morning with his give rep thing, right? So a lot of people will comment under his post saying good morning. So that with that post, I get the most amount of reps by my own post. But now if I go to Tick and I comment, hey Tick, good morning, uh, and I tag give rep, then the only rep I'm ever going to get is Tick saying good morning back to me. So it is not wise to use it under everybody and be like, hey, give rep. I see a lot of people doing that. You're going to get wrecked. It's not good for you. And you're only doing all of that risk for just one of these reps. That's not good, Chi. So use it in your own post. It would be even better if you made a little story around it with these loyalty programs, and maybe post that one once a day,
Right.
right? And start to engage. But the most engagement you get will be from your good morning, right? Say it in the morning, and then maybe, hey, throughout the day, what's the ticker, and then you can incorporate asking for a ticker, and incorporate maybe, because have you heard about give rep and freaking bluefin, or that's not hot anymore,
Or
Ika,
Ika.
right? Yeah, so you can do it like that, and then possibly there's going to be 20, 30 people giving, a comment on that. So that's when but don't use it as a comment under somebody else, because the most you're going to get out of that is one rep.
Mm.
But now you're tagging, and Elon is like, yeah, do that too much, and then you're just going to be shadow banned again. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
they're actually standardizing it as well, so that because people have been using bots to abuse it, so they're going to develop an algorithm that can detect if people are
exactly.
using, because they
Yeah,
alluded to that the other day. They had posted something
yeah,
and it said like update coming, and it said something like bots were coming for you. I was like, oh man, that's kind of bearish,
yeah,
because if they're going to implement some sort of something to slow people down in terms of how fast they can post.
yeah,
So it'll be interesting to see. I think that whatever they do, though, they're going to do it so it doesn't hurt the project. They're probably already going to
yeah.
foresee
That's it.
that
Look,
pitfall,
and
and they're
if
going to
you
work around that.
if you have legit engagement, and if you're working your X account and are active, right, with your X account and interact with people, then then you're legit, and so you're not a bot.
Hmm.
And look at these bots that are doing that and commenting under everybody. How many reps are they given? And look, I'm now on the leaderboard on 377.
Damn.
With the bots are all behind me, my guy. They're all like in the thousands, because then nobody, first of all, nobody engages with them, right? So it's the wrong way to go about it. So I don't care if they catch the bots. If you are a legit person on X, you will get engagement because you're fun and what you posted, it makes sense somehow. Especially if you're hosting spaces or are in spaces a lot, right? Because that signals you're absolutely not a bot, especially if you're talking and on stage. So yeah, there it is. I see raw is, stage hanging, and that's fine. You can do that. And just go ahead and you can reply somewhere and get a little bit of rubber band extra from Elon there. uh
Um,
so uh so yeah, that's the alpha on that. Don't go over any post and do your use that tagging power that you have, which you are limited on the daily to do, right?
ooh, I
To
see. I didn't realize that you're limited on the daily.
No, but what I try to say is this: if you Elon finds X find it extremely
Oh,
bearish
right, right.
if you're going around tagging.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to limit your tagging. So you need to make use of your tagging power, right?
Right.
Yeah, you can name a ticker, right? You can name a cash tag. You can do a hashtag, just
Mm-hmm.
not all the freaking time under everything.
Right.
That's how you get erect. And the same with tagging things. Don't tag 20 people. Limited it like three.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the limit there. And not on every post, because you're gonna be,
Getting
and it's not
wrecked.
gonna be and it's not gonna be a quality post. The algorithm picks up on that. You cannot just go at like, yeah, give rep people, give me.
There's some wild ones out there. The give rep
Yeah.
farming posts are like insane, and there's like tens of thousands of people that are in these chains, and some of them are pretty creative, like some of
Well,
the
what they
images
don't
that they've been
know,
uploading and
what
stuff.
they don't know, what's very bad for your account, because I bet you these losers that are doing that, because you're signaling you're a loser, you're broke, you're desperate, right? So they get into a group together, they go into a group,
Yeah.
they make a group in the DMs, and now they're going to send their links to these groups. But the algorithm knows where that engagement came from. It's
All right.
bearish to be in farming groups that way. It's not good
Yeah.
for your
It's
account.
because it looks
You're
like
going to get
bot
boosted.
activity.
Yes,
Yes.
because no, not really bot activity, but at least you're organized
Mm.
to milk something, to
Mm-hmm.
abuse something. That's
Right.
what you're doing.
Right.
So it's bearish, right? And that's why, even outbound or inbound links from other platforms, X find extremely bearish. But even inbound, so X post like, hey, my good morning post, and I send it in a group
Mm-hmm.
once or twice, not a big deal. But if I do that the whole day with every post that I got, so people will just give, that group will start commenting on it and everybody gives each other the reps, that's bearish. You're going to get flagged for that.
Mm.
And the algorithm picks up on it very, because they know where the links came from. They know where your images come from. That algorithm knows everything.
Right.
So I noticed I get a lot more traction with taking off the meta tags of stuff from Chat GPT, because if I leave the meta tag into the picture, the algorithm will kind of deboost me
Yeah.
because Grok no likey Chat GPT, right?
Yeah.
So so yeah, it kind of
How
likes
do you
to
go about
see.
the how do you go about the sorry metadata thing? Do you just screenshot your images?
You can screenshot your image. You can also ask
Oh,
the
that's right.
AI itself to
To
remove.
remove the metadata.
Yeah, yeah, the metadata on there. So yeah, that's a thing too. It goes very, very well. It all makes sense, but it goes far in that way. Yeah. So just be smart about it. And if you have good engagement on your post, you should not be worried about the not getting a rep. So don't be freaking desperate. I hate when people do that. It's like that seed. There's that seed airdrop,
Mm-hmm.
and especially in Telegram, they're active, and they have that little plant in their name. As soon as I see that in the TG, I'm out. I'm not buying that project. So bearish.
Mm.
These are the yeets, man. They eat a bag for $5.
Yeah, for a burger.
Yeah, as soon as I see a TG full of people that are, that have that in their bio and their name, because they need to have that thingy in their name, or they're just not getting the airdrop. So you can pretty much pick them out. And if there's too many
Oh.
in there, I'm like, oh my God, Yeet City is here, right? The
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
village,
yeah.
the whole Yeet village, the whole
Every
Yeet village emptied out.
jeez, the Yeet
Yeah,
Village.
to come into that token, right? So if you see those a lot, and if you see them in a team, probably a rug. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Particular countries they do that, and I understand why, because it's rough out there, and they actually eat for $1 or $2 a day, right? That's their they can buy food from that and live. So,
Yeah.
not blaming anybody there, but don't blame me for not getting into the project if I see a lot of people like that, right?
Right.
The whole the Yeet village
Yeah,
from Yeet country.
the disparity is like very
Yeah.
apparent. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, so I understand, but and they try to do it now with anything that can be farmed or airdropped, right? They have time on their hands to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and they the thing is that they don't see longevity everywhere. They're very much in the moment. What can I get today? Because if you live in poverty, that's going to be your mindset. But that's the mindset with everything,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why these parts of the world are also, in my opinion, not developed, because it's very much in the moment. It's all about today, and but the thing is, to build success takes time,
Yeah.
and takes some
It's
investment and time, and
microwave
they
thinking.
act like they got none. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So and then they screw up things like this, would be very much nice for everybody else,
All right.
right? But then they screw up things like this, which be very
Ooh.
nice for everybody else.
Wilder, do I still have you
And
there?
yeah,
Oh no. I'm having a connection
my phone
issue.
just went. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good now. I was having a connection
No,
issue
that's
for a
me
second.
because my. No, I'm good. It was me.
Mm.
Yeah, don't know, that was me because my this phone went off. Somebody was calling to this phone, this number. Yeah. So now, next up, as we have no project up here, let's go do our faucet on Monad.
Yes. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
got mine a few minutes ago. Yeah. I don't know where my wallet. I
Yes,
wonder
I
where my wallet's at right now because I spend it faster than I'm getting it. So
Oh,
let's see. I'm
that's
at.
it.
Oh, I'm still at
Oh my God.
0.75 monad. How? I just milked it today.
I'm
That's
so
weird.
Monad broke.
But I've got some. I've got a little collection of NFTs though, which is sick. I like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Same. Same. I got a bunch of NFTs and I'm Monad broke.
I got
That's what's
some
going on
weird
here.
NFTs too that were like kind of ugly, but like I was like maybe these might have some other weird value or something. Like one of them just like a black box that I saw. It was like these black boxes, and I'm like I'm gonna buy this
But
because
fun.
yeah, I'm like I don't if it's like a surprise thing. I don't know
Mm.
if it like unlocks something down the road. So I was like I'm gonna get this because it's kind of inconspicuous. Let me see. And then if I go, oh, did you see?
Yeah.
So I sent you something, by the way, called Chirp Token.
Yes.
Have you heard of Chirp Token? It's on
I'm
Sui
going to.
Network. It's on Sui Network, and so it's a DPIN.
I'm gonna have to be honest. I have a ton of work that I needed to for coding
Yeah,
that I just finished, and I can only do so much,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
I
Then
can
there's so
only do
much
so much.
stuff that's popping up like every day. Every day there's
Yeah.
20 new things, 20 new projects, and and 10 of those projects or 3 of those projects are usually look pretty bullish too. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome to
Uh,
see just everything that's popping up. But the chirp thing that I sent you does kind of look. I like things like this. I actually have something similar to this on my car. That's it's a just basically a mining utility, and this one mines through
oh,
connecting to
that is
wireless.
nice. So maybe you wanna, you know what? Let's do like this. You go pull it up because sounds bullish. Anything that can be mined for me is like when I hear mining, it's kind of like a little alert goes off in my head. That's like,
Yeah, you
oh,
get free.
interesting.
Well, you get free tokens through connecting, or like through connecting to wireless networks, Bluetooth devices. It's building a grid, like a wireless grid, and there's an
Well,
incentive for
what? How
yeah,
about you pull it? You pull up the website and
yes,
tell the people in the space what it is.
yeah.
Let's go. And then I close the microphone. I'm gonna do the Monad thing. I gotta move Ether around too, so I'm probably gonna spend 15 minutes. I
Hmm.
gotta move some Ethereum around. That was on my list to do. Do the
So
Ethereum thing. So you go and chill about it. Let's go.
I'm actually having a bearish experience right now. They're trying to log in. Let me see. I'm trying to log into the website to see how all this stuff works, but I'm trying to log in with Google on Chrome, and it's sending me in a hamster wheel. I just keep kind of, this is weird. But it is, so anyway, Chirp project, the way I found this was I was just on Bird Eye, kind of like looking at today's projects on Sui. And today, Chirp is up 68.3%. And it's my first time hearing about this project. So I load up the website to see, what's this project all about. And so DPIN ecosystem that powers RWA. So RWA exchanges enormous amounts of data. Chirp enables devices and sensors from various manufacturers and radio technologies to communicate with each other, the internet, and the blockchain. So it provides DApp developers with connectivity and powerful tools, allowing them to focus on building their application. So basically, the incentive here is to help them build the network, and you basically get tokens. You get Chirp tokens powered by the Chirp network, which is on the Sui network, for helping build their network. And so, yeah, here, mine and earn. So miners fuel Chirp's decentralized radio agnostic Internet of Things network, ensuring strong global coverage while earning the most Chirp tokens for their efforts. And so it looks like you connect to, different Wi-Fis. Let me see. Cities of presence, 317, 500 active gateways, one network, endless IoT possibilities. Chirp miners seamlessly connecting devices using different radio technologies and bridging Web 3 and Web 2 real world utility. Yeah, so this is like my first time seeing this. They have a Blackbird miner. So what does this connect to? Does this connect to your car? I can't tell. It's weird. I'm gonna have to get a Chirp miner. Cherry Park open skyward soar NFT sales, released in batches. Connect an outdoor network enabling autonomous driving and smart city setup as high as possible to maximize coverage. Order here. Start mining today. This is so... Yeah, there's just a lot to this. Buy this NFT, burn it, and unlock your Blackbird miner. So how many Sui? Out of curiosity. Wow, top bid 51. Instant sell 39 Sui. And then how to earn through the miner. So how can I mine Chirp? You'll need to set up a chirp miner device within our ecosystem. Okay, this is very not my thing. This is not for me. I did not realize that you have to have this piece of hardware, which I actually do participate in something that's similar on the Demo network, which has actually been around for a little while. Demo is one that I have an OBD reader that's connected to my car that is a crypto mining tool. And it's I like it. It's something that you acquire demo tokens over time through having it installed. And this Chirp project looks like it's a similar thing that is on the Sui network. So yeah, I mean, this was just kind of a discovery for myself of finding out what this top performing project was all about today. But however, the fact that you have to have a hardware device in order to mine, for me, it's just not for me. I'm gonna fade this one. But yeah, it's up at 8 cents today. So that was cool. Cool to see.
Yeah.
So just worth mentioning.
Can you hear me, Tick?
Now I can. I didn't hear you for the last 2 minutes. That's why I kept talking.
Well, yes, that's why that's why co-hosting is so important, right? Because I got knocked out, but I could. The only thing is that I see nobody in the space but the speakers. So
oh wow,
you get to manage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That is just how it's going to be. I was going to do the Ethereum thing, and then something happened on the phone, and oh my god, right? I'm still doing the Ethereum thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought you had muted for a second to do the
no, I was knocked out of the space.
Gotcha. Cool.
But yeah, here we are.
We are back. But yeah, anyway, that Chirp project that I did some vetting, I realized, yeah, this is not for me. It requires a hardware device in order to mine. But I just wanted to mention it because it is at 8 cents today with a 68% jump. So it's worth mentioning. Oh, wow. What happened to the space?
So what device? What?
Everyone's gone. Here. It's just you, me, and Raw now. From what I see,
everybody's
it looks like space. It looks like everyone got rugged. Yeah.
Well, they should have been speakers.
Yikes. Damn. No one. I guess.
God. What the hell? Do you want to restart it?
Or maybe we can't see. No, I'm not going to restart the space because that's so bearish, right? Because then I have my profile then saying like 2 different spaces. And so, I guess we're just going to have to close it out and do again tomorrow. Because if spaces are glitchy like this, it's bearish. Sometimes it happens. Spaces are not consistent that way, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, people are coming back.
Oh.
But the space was never the whole space was never rugged.
That's
it was still going. It's just Elon just ejected everybody from the space. Like too bullish, too much alpha. You cannot stay.
Yes.
We're gonna yeet everybody.
They're gatekeeping the alpha.
Yeah. Elon doesn't want you to talk about certain stuff. If it's bullish, he's like, no. He's got to talk about Doge.
Exactly.
So we know when you go to. I forgot the name, what it was, because my brain is a little bit scrambled at the moment. But you can go actually check out because the words you repeat on the space are actually in the algorithm.
You gotta say Tesla every 10 minutes.
Yes, that's it, Raw. That's the alpha. Tesla, Doge, Tesla, Mars. We go to Mars.
I mean, SpaceX has been doing great stuff lately.
Tesla. Yes.
PayPal.
And then, if you say a lot of dick, then Sam will come instead of Elon.
Yeah, have you guys seen those Optimus robots? Wow.
Optimus,
yeah, they're sick. AI's future.
Tesla. Yeah, maybe we should just, start the space saying a few words.
Shilling Elon.
Maybe we could, just to figure out what Elon does with it. No, it's a thing. It's a thing.
That's picks up what not a bad idea. It might actually, boost your engagement. Wow.
Yes, I know. Oh my God, let's write this down because my brain, I'm just, let's write it down. I had a banger idea for a crypto project, by the way. I do have a lot of ideas for these things, but I thought it was like, I found myself really smart. Um, let's write it down. Yeah, use bullish way. I don't know what there was this thing where your space is actually where it gives you that information, right? What you talk about. I'll ask Lam and Mac, they know. I forgot the website that does that. So, but yeah, we just start the space out by rapping out 100 words of each Tesla, Optimus, Doge, right? XRP, XRP, XRP.
Well, the thing is, like, Grok is going to be monitoring everything now on X. So
Oh
you,
yeah,
you never know. You never just try it out, see what happens, I guess.
I bet you they're monitoring the spaces too and what you talk about. And yeah, sometimes I had somebody that didn't like me very much for a little while. Don't know why, just a hater. And I enjoyed it very much. He always used to bot my spaces, and would say that I have like, but actually he was pumping my bags, right? So I had wake up with Wilder for a long time, a couple of years ago, and so this guy bought it my spaces, and
Oof.
it showed that I had a ridiculous amount of people in my, yeah,
I'm
it's happening again.
glitching again.
Yeah,
Yes,
Grok
me
daughter
too.
again.
Yes, we're not talking about Tesla. We're going
Jeez.
off topic. Yes, but no, it's what was I getting at, Tick? I just lost the plot altogether.
Oh God. Um, let's see. I just lost my train of thought too. Oh, the mic
Don't
was
worry,
cutting
I'll
out as
remember.
I was listening to you, so I was starting to
Fix
panic.
this E thing as well. Taking them out.
Maybe that's what it is. It's the ETH transaction. It's the
Oh
EVM.
yeah,
Oh no.
the guy was botting me, and then when my well, it's not on this phone, so and it would sync to it, right?
Mm.
And so actually, I got more popular with that than anything else. But when your space get bought, it's full and nobody can get back in. That's why he did it.
Oh.
And he or she, I don't know. I got reported a few times because I was saying something about maybe that was it, and somebody called me fat shaming, and I was talking about diet. As just it's a little bit malarkey there,
Right.
but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but actually everybody's like, "Oh my God, your spaces are fire! You have 2,000, 3,000 people in there." I was like, "Yeah, man." So he actually helped me be more popular this way
Awesome.
because people are looking at my spaces like, "Oh my God," right? And so I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, man. Spend money on botting me, and it's just gonna make me better." Everybody that tries to get at me is just somehow it always turns in my favor. It makes me even better than before.
Yeah. It opens up
So
another
that's like
door for you.
absolutely
Hmm.
haters are your biggest fans. Haters are your biggest fans in disguise, right? They are so bullish. But yeah, I'm thinking we need to close out this space because I think there's enough shenanigans going on for, and I just lost all my train of thought and concentration because of
Yeah.
this. Is ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah, so we do it again tomorrow.
yes. And if we can, let's try to maybe Volt, if the Volt team wants to come tomorrow and we can, kick off the show with a
Oh yeah, we
shill.
can flip some. Yeah, yeah,
The
some
Volt.
Volt
I'm very
guys.
very bullish on the Volt community. They
Yeah.
show up all the time. They're like all over my timeline, and I see them constantly engaging. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to the Volt Inu team. It's a
They
super
are.
solid
They
project.
are. It's just that I gotta say something to you, Tick, because you are not posting frequently enough, and your engagement is not outbound enough for you to get engagement on these posts. So
Mm.
you need to step up a little bit more if you can,
I'm not
and
sure
you can
who I
do
should, who I need to like engage with more. I was trying to do more, and then I
your
got shadow
timeline.
banned.
Your timeline.
Uh huh.
Your timeline is actually the perfect place because that's the post that Elon wants you to interact with.
Hmm.
So if you go outside of that and just do your own thing, right, it can backfire by a lot. But don't go too fast, right? Just I do it like this every time I have a chance. I'm 10, 20 minutes and I do a few different things. I comment to, I say it back on my page, and I go on my timeline and see what post said there, and if I find it bullish I leave a comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you and if you but but my outbound is always a little bit more than my inbound. So, and that's how you grow.
Inbound meaning like posting on my own wall.
Inbound is like any comment that you get that you comment on,
Uh huh. Oh.
right? And outbound is you commenting on other people's posts.
Mm.
So your engagement should be 70% outbound,
Gotcha.
and then you just steadily will grow. Automatically, you will get more followers. Automatically, you're gonna get more response on your post,
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of like making friends in real life. You kind of got to say hello to people, right? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta just sit there stare at them. That's creepy. So it's not really about your content initially, right? It is, and it's initially it's kind of isn't, because you can I can post a very hot picture of myself from my pictures that I've been in magazines with, and nobody will like it if I'm not outbound interacting with other people,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can have fire content, nobody will see it if you're not saying hello to other people, literally.
So
So,
should I be posting thirst traps?
well, I can do that. I think I have a few out there already. If you go to the highlights, I think Keith from AXOL was.
All right, Tim, we're gonna start showing our apps, bro.
Yeah, right. But you could possibly do that. But if you're not engaging with other people first, nobody's gonna see your great little behind there, right? So, um, yeah, that's just the thing. And other people, everybody gets stuck with how what do I do make for content? Well,
That's actually hard. It's hard because I'm
yeah.
actually starting. I have a company, a software company, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be growing that account and not this one so much. Um, but I'm just like trying to think for days, like what do I post? Like it's not an easy thing to think about.
It's not easy, and but you're overthinking it by a long shot.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know that.
So
I know.
so yeah, here's the thing with overthinking, and I feel you. I feel you. I have this overachieving syndrome, right? And I'm the biggest critic of my own things always, because that's how I
Yeah,
optimize too,
we're
right? So yeah, you want a little bit of that. You do not want to be tooting your own horn all the time, all the great stuff you put out there if it's not great, right? So you definitely want to have some of that, right? But you also should not be if it's got to happen today. If I got to make a post today, then it will be the best thing that I can come up with. But I do have that deadline, and I'm just gonna have to post it, even if it's not perfect, because repeating it on the daily is more important than the quality. Then, and what happens then is that you get better at it over time, and you tweak and you optimize, right? But first, you gotta have the behavior of posting and engaging. That's gotta be there first. So even if it's not perfect, you gotta go ahead and do it anyway. And it's kind of like I call it like feet first. Sometimes you just got to go in feet first, and you might be overthinking by a lot, but as soon as you press the button and some people are commenting on it and stuff, right, it's you're like, oh, see, I'm good. And then the next day you're going to do it again, and then you're going to think about it a little bit and you're going to come up with something better, and then the next day you're going to come up with something better. So it never is anything perfect from the get-go. You get perfect by repetition. That's how you get perfect, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have permission to make mistakes. They're a part of the success. They are part of the to make these mistakes. I know mistake sounds very negative, but they're actually the best thing that can happen to you because it really points out where you then need to do a little bit better. So instead of being discouraged, it should encourage you to improve on these points. It tells you where you should optimize because you're not that great at it yet, right? But you also know that if you just keep up the behavior, you will be incentivized to optimize, right? You're not
Mm-hmm.
repeating mistakes over and over again, I hope. And so, and and then it's gotta also fit you personally. I hate when people are just copycatting each other all the freaking time. Just bring some personality to the stage as well. And you got to know this, right? You have things that you like and that other people don't like. The whole world is not supposed to like what you like.
Mm-hmm.
But if we just start to water it down and start to do the same post that everybody else is making, I guess you could be short term successfully, but to actually build long term connections in this space that that can result in income, right? And stuff. If people like your art, they will buy your art. If you have a product, it will, you will build your base for your product. But yeah, not everybody needs what you got. So, but you, you cannot water yourself down so people don't know about what you got because you're just doing the same as everybody else. And I see that going a lot. That of these things going on a lot on X. Yeah, everybody's just copying the same things. It's kind of like, yeah, well, it's okay to say good morning, but maybe add a little quality to that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
okay if you start with just a very non-eventful post, because the thing is, the first thing you need to do is post, and you got to get that down under what time are you going to do that in when you have time, right? So sit down for it, make it. You got to repeat that behavior on a daily, and then at one point you'll be like, yeah, this picture is not me. I kind of need to tweak it a little bit to be more of me and what I like, right? And then you're gonna change your graphics a little bit, and then you're gonna be like, all right, what should be in my post? What is really me, right? And I see people doing inspirational things, and it's them. It fits them. It fits them because we feel the vibe, even though it's on X and we're just PFPs with words. But you kind of feel the vibe, right? And you really feel a bad vibe when somebody's just repeating what the other one was repeating. And so it's like, oh,
True.
right, this is not
Mm-hmm.
alpha here. This is an alpha person. And I just follow. When I follow people, it's because I'm going to their profile and I like what they're posting about. And if I see that repetitive thing, I'm just like, oh, they're just into the business of doing this, right? So
True.
it's not my crowd, which is fine. They could be there in the space too, but it's just not. Um, to build relationships over time uh, with these things, you gotta show some personality. I think I'm bullish on personality. Even if I don't agree with what you post, at least you're being yourself.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you, Tick, I missed that on your profile.
What is it?
I also I also noticed that where you're hard to engage with.
Really?
Yeah. So you got to make it easy for people. So here's what you do. When you put out your good morning post, pin it. Don't leave that pinned post up there for months.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing your profile. I've seen it now for 10 times, right? So, but I'm not talking about you personally, but for people who have it up there for. I've seen that thing. I commented on it already. I said something about it. Now, the first thing I see is that freaking pin post every day on repeat. So bearish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your pin post should be the one that you want to have most control over engaging.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's always my good morning post. So when people visit my profile, it's very easy to say good morning back to me and wish me a happy day. Yeah, because it's the pin post. I don't need to look for it to engage with you, right? And you spend 3 minutes scrolling on your profile about the retweets and other garbage you got posted on there that I can say nothing to. I cannot even say hi to you. I got to look for it. Well, if I got to look to say hi to you, I'm moving on to the next. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you already changed your name to Tick. So if your name is longer than just, 2 syllables or something, it's going to be bearish for people to say hi to you. because they want to get personal. But if your name is Jassy Jasmine Rasmataz, I don't know what to tell you. You're just, for me, going to be a good morning legend. And I'm moving on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, so that's everybody's going to be time is money, and I want to engage with you, but I'm not gonna, if you're not worth it, I'm not gonna dig up a post that I can engage with you with. So you got to make it easy for people to.
Yeah.
It's like in real life. You got to make it easy for people to come to you and say hi. You're not gonna do that if you're wearing black clothing and walking around with your head down, not looking at people. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
gonna say hi to you because you're not even engaging in eye contact. How am I ever gonna? Nobody's gonna be like, "Hey," and then try to look in your eyes, be like, "Hello,"
Right.
and make friends with you, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing on X. You got to be approachable. Yeah, there's a lot of women have this. Like, yeah, people don't ask me out for a date. Well, maybe if you don't have that resting bitch face, on the whole time, and you actually smile at people, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that could be eye opening for you.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then so it's the same on X, right? So you want people to have easy engagement with you. Got to make it easy for them, So pin a post, regular when you're on. Have a pin post that people then can go to and
Mm-hmm.
say hi. And also, don't retweet so much, because retweets are so bearish this way, right? I know you want to retweet something. It's okay to retweet something, but not 10 times a day because it will clog up that profile. Now, here's the big deal with algorithm. The longer people spend on your profile, the more boost you get.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see a person and he's like, yeah, follow me or something, or just someone engaged with, I'm like, oh, might be bullish. I'll go to the profile. But if I see retweets, I'm not following you, and I'm never gonna visit your profile again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a good
So
way to do that is to like post a movie, or not a movie, but a video.
that's what
And
I do every day, my guy. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Videos are very
yes.
bullish.
6 seconds, even if there's no sound. 6 seconds, right? Six
And
seconds is the alpha.
dude, some alpha. If you don't have any clue, I mean, I can give you a quick rundown. If you have no clue how to even get these videos and stuff, you go on aistudio.google.com and you can click on Try Gemini. It's free to use. On the left side, there's a button that says Generate Media. You go to VO, create clips and animate images. This is free to use. It's absolutely incredible, and this is for people if you see people making like little animations and all this stuff all the time, and you're like, I wonder how they do that. This is the alpha, and this is how you do it. It's aistudio.google.com, and you can go ahead and upload any image onto VO, and you can say animate this image and add motion, like whatever. Or you can make an even more precise iteration than that. You can set the aspect ratio. You can set the video duration, so from 5 seconds up to 8 seconds. And then you can do, I believe, you can do up to 2 generations every like 24 hours, but that's enough to put a video on your page every day. You can animate any little cartoon character. You can animate anything. It's absolutely incredible. So if you,
what was that website?
it's aistudio.google.com, and it's how you interact with the Gemini model, which they actually just released a new Gemini today, which I haven't even used yet. If you go, so aistudio.google.com, and if you, on the right side, you can choose the different AI models that you use. And if you go to Gemini 2.5, there's the 2.5 Flash Preview. May 20th was released today, which I haven't used this one yet. But for image generation, on the right side where you can select the model, you go to Gemini 2.0, and you can go to Gemini 2.0 Flash Preview Image Generation. And then you can say, you go into the chat box and you say, create an image of a pixelated dog trading Bitcoin. And press enter, and just like, let's see, there it is, it's already done. And then you can do that, save image as, save it locally, right? And then I can go on the left side, generate media. I go back to VO. I open up that image that I just created, and then I go to right here, and then I say animate this image so the dog is typing on the keyboard. and then press run, and now it's going to generate that video. And then if I go back to the other video that I just created, so now I have a little animated, I don't know if anyone's watching on this screen, but I have a little animated video right here. And yeah, it works like very quickly. The quality is incredible. And so this is like really good alpha for your Twitter if you want to be able to create content like on the fly in just, under a couple minutes. Sorry for rambling, but this is really helpful if you have no idea how to do any of this.
Yes, also some alpha. If you just go to Canva or anything else, you can just do a static movie because it's about the 6 seconds. You do not have to have anything animated per se. You could just do a picture, turn it into a movie, get it on 6 seconds, and post that.
Ooh,
I did that for a long time too, and it works, right?
very
So
bullish.
you don't even need to create that stuff. You could just it's free on Canva. You just load up your picture, turn it into a video, download that video, post it on X, and it will be like a static picture, but it will actually be a video, right? So it will give you the bonus points for less effort.
Very sick.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake,
Efficiency.
how do I do that again? So I'm on it right now, Google AI Studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make an image. So
Dude,
how do I do
try
that?
Gemini. Did you click on try Gemini yet? Or you
Yeah,
have
I'm in.
the chat open. So on the right side, you see run settings where you can, there's a combo box where you can select the model. It should say Gemini on the right side on run settings. So when you click on that, go to Gemini 2.0, and then to the left, then you have the option to do Gemini 2.0 flash preview image generation. Do you see what I'm talking about? I could take a screenshot, or I have it up on the YouTube stream as well, what I'm looking at. Were you able to find it?
Yeah. Someone called me right in the middle of you saying that, so I had to hurry up and
So yeah,
cancel that
you
call.
could select the model and then Gemini 2.0, and then Gemini 2.0 flash preview image generation. And then below there's even the temperature slider. As you increase the temperature, you increase the creativity level that it applies when creating the image. So then you can go to the prompt and you can say like, make me a web banner for my website called what's the ticker, and then that's it. And then it just, in a couple seconds here, I have one. And so there's my banner. And then what I can do now is increase the temperature and then go back to that prompt that I just fired and do rerun this turn. And now it'll actually apply more creativity to the banner. And now that's a new result. Now I'm going to increase the temperature more, and now rerun it again. And this is all free. It's so sick. I use AI Studio quite a lot. It's great. And as well as the other models, ChatGPT and all those, but those are kind of limited in how many generations you can do with AI Studio. It's still limited, but not quite nearly as limited as like ChatGPT, for instance.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I got some pictures up already.
Yeah, cool. And so then on the left side, you go to generate. You can go to generate media. That on the left menu says chat, stream, generate media. If you do stream, you can actually stream your desktop, and you can have AI Studio basically talk to you about coaching you through like, hey, I want to like program this in Python. Like, how do I start? And it'll help walk you through your desktop, like open this program, like whatever. But if you go to generate media, that's where you can pull up VO.
Yeah, it does that, right? It takes you to your programs that you need to be starting, and it takes you through the whole process.
Yeah.
Like it takes you by the hand. It's just so easy and so educational.
Yeah. It's like having a tutor there with you to teach you how to use a computer. If you have no idea, like I need to make a PowerPoint presentation, I don't know where to start. It'll like walk you through the whole process. So that's kind of cool. If you go to generate media, go to VO, that's how you can make the animations I was talking about. And that's what's really sick, because to be able to do this for free is like unheard of. But Google's been testing this, application and the technology of these AI models. And this is kind of a lesser known thing. I don't think that they advertise it too much because they probably don't want the systems to be, ran exhausted, but they still need to test these models. So AI Studio is a great way to interact with them. Sorry for my TED talk.
No, this is alpha. People need to know. Sometimes they want to know how to make content, right? And how to do that. Some people get really stuck on it. And I know it's easy to get stuck on. Everybody's asking me about my movies, but I just have them made by my kid. I'm just outsourcing.
Oh,
But
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not learning anything. But yeah, that's really valuable, right? Because it's not just for your content, and that is also that you learn, and that you can use it. It's applicable for everything. Like you say, you want to open a PowerPoint, or you want to build a TG bot, or you want
Mm-hmm.
to. No, I mean, look, sky's the limit. AI is really going to be a thing, right? So it's so cool. It's just like sometimes our mind are just the limiting factor here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, and
yeah,
and even then, you can even ask the AI to help you create prompts. You could say, "I need to make
yes,
a web banner, and how should I engineer my prompt to make it, visually appealing and
yes,
optimized for my website to, draw attention or whatever." And
yes,
the AI model will create the prompt for you, and then you feed that back into the image generator to, you know,
absolutely. Yeah,
optimize.
because I'm not creatively inclined this way. I'm on a different end. My brain is on a different end of the spectrum. So for me, it's these things get me immediately in overthinking mode,
Mm,
and so I get glitchy with it, and so and then but then to come up with the solution is to just ask the AI to help you. But that's not a thought that enters my mind at that point, right? So it's like, yeah, the AI is only as good as you are, and it really just triggers you, or compels you to think simpler in some ways, right? I gotta
yeah,
just think simple. I just gotta ask the AI.
yeah. Dumb it
Yeah,
down a little bit. Yeah.
dumb it down. Yeah, yeah. You're overthinking
Keep it
complex
simple.
things.
Keep it simple,
Keep it
stupid.
simple.
That's how they
Yes,
say it.
kiss, right?
Yeah.
Kiss. Keep it short and simple. That's basically. So my daughter made one for my Good Morning post. It's fire.
Ooh. For is that the one that you posted today?
No, no,
Oh,
it's
you
another
got
one
it's
for
it's coming soon.
December. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
World premiere.
I like it. I like it so much. She makes the good stuff. She's pretty good with that. But yes, she's a child, and she does not have the. First of all, she has a different. She's very much creatively inclined, which I'm good at stuff. If but then I come from a very different angle. It's very different.
Very
Um,
analytical.
but yes, I'm very analytical, and that's what screws me up in that area by a lot. And I want to be creative, and I can't. I can actually, but it takes me a long time to get what's in my mind out in the real world. Right? So my brain goes first to analyze everything, and that could take a while. And but then when I do it, it's good immediately, and I'm kind of because that's kind of how I operate. I feel not good if it's not coming out as my mind had it.
Yeah.
And then I feel very much demotivated and stuff. So I notice about myself, and I'm trying to be better.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter just makes things, and then she goes through the process of the whole making. So
Yeah.
she's not operating in her mind; she's operating where when she makes incredible paintings ever since she was like 2.5 years old. She was very detailed in drawing, making. She was making like dolphins and stuff in the ocean when she was like 2.5. And all throughout her school, always her paintings and art were posted into school. She had exhibitions and stuff like. So like she's so good with that, but she does the whole process in reality on the canvas, not in her mind. She's not thinking.
Mm.
She's doing it, doing it, doing it. And I'm just like, oh my God, I wish I could do that because I'm thinking it, thinking it, thinking it. And then the doing comes a little bit later.
Yeah.
It's a little bit delayed like that. But yeah, I should post some of her art. It's incredible. Every time I show people, it's like, oh my God, that brushwork. And they're like, but she's like brushwork that she just handles things in different mediums in her own way, and sometimes it turns out genius. She's really good like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm proud. I did something right. But yeah, no, I got to fire a thing for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's fine.
Got one locked
She
and loaded.
uses a lot of things to make these animations right together. She uses a few things in one.
Mm.
And some people DM me is like, how do you make these animations? And I'm like, well, I, I don't know.
She does a lot of those for you. Yeah, they are very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She said, like, do you want me to have your voice recorded and then make the AI say, or the animation say it?
yeah,
Because you can lip sync it and stuff. And,
yeah. With
I was
Hey
like,
Jen,
ah,
yeah,
yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm here. No, that's too much work. That's going to be too much. This is fine for now. If we
that
need a
would be
step up
sick.
program,
Yeah, you have a little
I
like
know,
a
but
little clip of you just saying "Good morning, fam" or something, or like
no,
"Good morning,
whatever.
chadettes."
But you buy more Bitcoin. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can. But I noticed that a lot of people on X do not have their audio on, and so I think even we can try. I can try say something ridiculous, like offensive, and then see how many people are going to respond in the comments
That would be
that
funny.
picked up on it. I bet you there would be like one person
Say
out of 200.
buy fart coin,
Yes, something
something
like that.
stupid like that.
Yeah, or just something, or something really offensive. Hey, bitches, good morning.
Ooh, that'd be
Right,
good.
something like that. Yeah,
I get
I
a
think I'm actually
response.
gonna do that. So you guys have the alpha on that. But I bet you, and from the 200 people that say good morning or leave a reply of a sort, they're not gonna mention that because they didn't pick up on it. Because most people in the videos actually have their sound off. So um, I know this because I had that I I started out using some workout material that I had of me working out, right? If you go back in my highlights, you can see.
Mm.
So it's actually me doing workouts, right? And so, but I had some music under there, and but nobody ever referred to the music. So that just gave me a hint, like, hey, nobody's listening to this anywho,
Yeah,
and it, yeah,
copyright reasons. It was being
no,
oh because no one
no,
could hear it because just people on Twitter.
yeah,
Yeah,
don't
they were
have
just
the
on
sound
Twitter,
on,
not browsing. I got you.
yeah, yeah. So they get on your post and they're not automatically have the volume up.
Hmm.
Because every time then you land on somebody's post, the volume would just that immediately that video would start playing. And so I don't know how Elon is going to do with that at all. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry about that.
All good.
But yeah, what were we saying? So my
Um,
brain is fried. Oh yeah, the music. I don't
yeah.
know the sound. I don't know how X is going to be dealing with that because it is kind of missing out on an extra dimension there. And maybe people should be prompted. You want to have the sound on, in every video or something. But that is going to be, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the solution would be for that. But I do know that people do not listen to the sound. And I
Hmm.
think maybe even if you do, it takes a little bit of work to make a post, like to make content like that, right? And then is it going to be worth it? You're doing that. So if you are going to, I would actually say in the post itself, like turn volume up,
Right.
turn volume up,
Volume on.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, prompt people to do it. But then again, some people don't even. The attention span are those of fruit flies on X. It's short content, and that's why these one liners work. For engagement. The more controversial you are with a one liner, the most engagement you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And that's just because people just see that one sentence and don't read the other.
I
So
tried something. I made a little poll and I thought that it was pretty like ridiculous. I was like, what's coming first? What did I say? $50 Sui or $300 Soul? Which like to anyone that's a pretty wild jump because that's like anyway, a 50% increase or a thousand over 1,000% increase. But just kind of to post something controversial to see if I got a response. And no, I'm just not getting the engagement. And I am trying to go out and like post like as much as possible when I can at like different times throughout the day. And it's like I squeeze it in like when I can and everything. And
no, there's
it's
the alpha for your timeline. Look, there is the most engagement will come from the USA, but I'm not in the USA, so it's gonna have to work with my time. I'm not gonna change my whole freaking day around so I can be active on X. That's ridiculous. There's a lot of people in my time zone as well that I can interact with. So I don't need millions. I just need a few thousand, right? So
Mm-hmm.
all good. So first of all, it's going to be towards your schedule, because here's the thing: if you need to have behavior that you need to display daily, it's got to fit in kind of with what you need to be doing in your life, anyways, like work, right? You get up, maybe you go for a workout. These things still got to happen. So you got to fit it in here. You got to make it fit to you in order for you to keep it up on the daily, or else it's going to, you know. Uh, going to come into your life and you're going to be looking at it bearishly, because now you got to make a choice between something. So first of all, you need to fit your timeline, your agenda. And of course, there are better times for posting. Sure, they are. But yeah, do I need these millions? Are these millions of people going to engage with me? No. So fuck that, right? Just relate it back to bring it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're just going to pick a few times that you have time in your day to post that post. And, before you do, before you post, interact with people first before you post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
get some
yeah,
engagement going on before the post.
yes, and then you make your post, and these people that you responded to, and maybe they responded back to you. Now they're gonna see your post.
Mm.
Else that won't you get underwater like that. So you're running behind the fact. So you're gonna front run a post, make a post, and then if you only have 4 moments in the day right now because of work and your life to do that,
Yeah.
then that is going to be your schedule for posting. And
Yeah.
I would not start to try and post more, because again, it will start to feel bearish then, because now you're feeling maybe like you need to rush things because you
Right.
need to get stuff done, and it's going to mess up your day. So just do the 4 times or 3 times or 2 times, whatever. And then you're just going to optimize these posts. Okay, what really works? What is me? And what do I want to tell people? Or what do I want people to see?
Mm-hmm.
And that should be that is about you. And so you optimize the if you do 2 posts a day, you have time for that, fits in your day, everything slides right on by. Then tweak these tweets and optimize those before you start thinking about, hey, maybe I can find another time in the day where I can do a third post.
Mm-hmm.
And then optimize, because then you know the optimization already, you can optimize pretty quickly from there. And so you will accelerate over time and grow that. But it's not going to work if you cannot keep it up. So the first thing is, okay, you need to make at least one post, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to interact with people. And if that's a challenge already in your day, then find a spot where you can do that, and then uh, repeat that, and then maybe you get better at it, so it doesn't take as long anymore. And then you're going to start. All right, maybe I'll schedule a post in about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, let's say, and then 10 minutes before 4 you engage, your post will be out, and then you come back at 5 o'clock looking who responded, and do some engagement there, right, again. But then it's going to be very easy because you got really good at it, because you're repeating. So the first time you make a post, you might sit there for half an hour like, what the fuck am I going to post? And that takes a lot of time, right? But
Ask
the
ChatGPT.
more, yeah, right. So but you just got to put that behavior in there, and then at one point you won't be thinking about it. It's 2 minutes to make that post, and it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes to engaging, and that all now that whole process just takes 15 minutes where it took you an hour before. So now it frees up some time, so you can do some. And this goes for everything in life. When you want to bring new behavior into your life that would be good for you to do, that's how you tackle it. You're first going to be like, all right, so I'm adding something. So do I have time? Because I kind of want to feel good about it and not turn against it and be demotivated by it by adding a lot more stress, right? So maybe you got to replace some behavior. But if you want to add it, is find a time in your day, which we all have, to do that then, and do it in small increments so you get used to it, you get good at it, and then you can make that bigger. It's
Yeah.
called the butterfly effect. And the butterfly effect is not what people think it is. People think it's like, oh yeah, I do one thing, and then, and it just happens to this person, and the person talks to that person, and something big is going to happen to the first person. Yeah, that's kind of a butterfly. But when we're talking butterfly effect in, especially in psychology, it's like we make little movements, and that's how we fly higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we make little changes over time, little, and then we go higher and higher and higher, and we get better at flying, and and then we get to move left and right, right? So, but first we start with a little wing movement. So it
Yeah.
always starts little, something that you can easily keep up with, because the recipe for success is consistency plus time equals success.
Right. When you do a marathon, you don't run at 12 miles an hour, you
Nah,
know.
exactly.
Well, I
You're
mean,
gonna
actually,
start
you
little.
can, you can, but
Well, you can.
some people
You're
do.
probably
But
gonna
most
you're
people
gonna
are
do that
going,
once or twice,
yeah.
get wrecked, and be like, I'm never gonna run again.
But most
So
people
it
are going to be doing
actually,
it like 5 miles an hour, or
yeah, well,
5 to 7 miles an hour. Yeah.
yeah, well, a lot of people are going about it the wrong way. So they want something in life, they want their life to change. And because it's so different from the way that they're living now, they think that they're going to need like really big measurements in your measures in your life
Right.
to in order to get that, because that thing is so different. So you think you got to do a lot because it's so different. I got to do a lot.
Yeah.
I am, I'm looking flabby and I have a belly and I want to have a beach body. So you're thinking now I need to do a lot. I need to every day work out 3 hours. And but here's the thing, you're shooting yourself in the fucking foot, because you cannot keep that behavior up long enough to get
Right.
the beach body, because
That.
you're too
Yeah.
extreme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with little. Maybe, hey, maybe I could eat a little less. Where can I eat a little less, right? Where can I walk a little more? And then it's like, hey, I see a gym. Do I have time? I could go for an hour, 3 days a week. All right, let's go three times an hour a week. Start there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're on there, say, hey, maybe, oh, I'm liking this. Maybe I should hire a personal trainer. Maybe you should hire Wild, but
There we
no,
go.
wait, shameless shill in there. You see that?
Hmm.
But no, you don't. You can do that. But you start little. You're gonna make little adaptations to what you do. So when you never walk a lot and you only do 3,000 steps a day, if any, walking 15,000 steps is gonna wreck you. You're gonna feel wrecked from that, tired. Your legs are gonna be hurting. Your body isn't used to that at all. So it's gonna be a bearish experience for you after. Plus, you may not even have time for that. It's gonna be very hard to keep up this way. So how about you start with just walking then 1,000 steps more? That should be doable. And then after 3 days, you're gonna up it to 4,500, 5,000. And the thing is that you get in win mode this way, because now you overcame, you did 4,000, and then you cannot do more than 3,000, uh, but 3 days later. So you're gonna actually put yourself a limitation how much you can walk. And then you notice something happening in the brain. Now you want to walk more because you
Mm.
told yourself you could not. And
Mm-hmm.
so on day four, you're like, yes, 5,000. I can finally do the 5,000. I can optimize. I can lift myself up, another level.
Mm-hmm.
And people who develop games know this, because when we do like a farmer game, I'm always doing the farmer game example. So you start out level one, you get a plot. You can only have one plot, so you're limited, and you can only grow tomatoes, and you got to sell those tomatoes. And then when you did, you're now leveling up to number two. So you get, another plot, and you're gonna still only plant the tomatoes. Now, eventually, you're gonna get level up a little bit more, but you're gonna be restricted the whole time, because you're just getting one extra plot, and maybe in level five you get one extra crop that you can plant on there, right? And then you get to level 10. Now the game has taught you how to go to that repetition of doing that, so you get now dopamine from doing the action, because that's actually what's going on in the brain. So you now get dopamine from these actions that you did before on repeat, leveling up, getting rewarded by only doing one crop more or one plot more that you got. But now you got excited because you have tomatoes, now you have wheat, and now you can do the fucking watermelons, right?
There
And
we
you're
go.
happy about it. Yeah, you're excited. But now we're on level 10, and now you're out of energy, and something's going to pop up on the screen. You want to buy some energy so you can level up faster? Because guess what? Next up, you can plant some squash. I'm just imagining these things, right? That's how it works, but they know how it works. And this is how it works in your life too when you want to adopt new behaviors. Stop thinking that you're going to be the level 20. We're not there yet. You need to first teach yourself for this to reward you. That behavior should be rewarding you so you can keep it up, because anything that you can keep up over a longer time means you're going to be successful with it.
Mm-hmm.
So do not make things hard, but just hard enough so you get dopamine from reaching it. So if you walk 3,000 steps, go walk 5,000, 4,000 steps first, and then tell yourself you cannot level up until you did these 4,000 for 3 days. And then you reward yourself by doing 1,000 more. See how this works? Now you're getting in. Now it's a game, right? Now you're turning it into a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes fun. And then you might want to go and do 10K steps, but no, you're going to restrict yourself, right? You'd be like, no, I got to do this 5K first for the first 3 days again. I got to keep this behavior up for, right? You cannot do more. And then after 3 days, guess who wants to do more? You want to do more, right? And then you're gonna be like, oh, maybe I'm going out for the weekend and going for a big hike and I'm gonna do 20K steps. You're gonna go out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna do that one day in the weekend. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so now you have some behavior that helps you get the beach body, right? And you're optimizing it. So good. And you think it's fun because your brain gets dopamine from it. So now you did a lifestyle change, actually. You're not thinking anymore, do I have time for this? No, you make time for this because that's what you get dopamine from. So you're going to make time for it. Right? And hopefully rug some of your previous behavior that was not helpful, like being maybe indoors too much. So you might be overeating a little bit too much simply because you're bored.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're out and about, you're walking, you do these steps, right? And you don't need that snack anymore. You're not even thinking about it because you're just, thinking about reaching your goal, having fun, doing your walks, or whatever the behavior is that you want to do, right? So that's really alpha. You got to start making these butterfly movements, because, or else the stuff that spiral up mentally, right? That you're creating over there, that games know and make use of. Marketing also does this, right? They know that reward system in our brain. And the problem is you're getting rewards from the wrong things that are not helping you with the things that you want in life, your goals. So that's one. But the thing is, it gets so ugly in that reverse negative spiral, because if you're thinking, hey, yeah, beach body, and now I got to work out 3, I'm going to do hit trainings in the morning, I'm going to do, in the afternoon, I'm going to do another training, and I'm just going to eat 1,000 calories a day. Yeah, you think you will last long with this? No. And you know what happens when you fail? Because you're setting yourself up for failure. You got to deal with the failure. And now that goal is more far away than it's ever been before, because you're now teaching yourself that you're failing at that goal, and it's going to demotivate you so much that you're not ever you'll be giving up, being like, yeah, you know what, maybe Beachbody is not for me. I'm just going to have these Cheetos right here in my dungeon, just like I did before. But now I'm not going to eat one bag, I'm going to eat two because I feel so bad
Oh,
about failing this.
yeah.
So it's even worse when you are setting yourself up for failure, because then you repeat and learn the behavior of failing instead of winning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how it works with the mind. You can turn anything into a game this way, and if you do, it's fun. You're gonna think of the outcome in a more in a lighter way, right? You're gonna let go of that outcome because you're having fun with it in the moment, because you're winning. Winning is fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Losing is not fun.
that's true.
But we set ourselves up all the time. It's because you're thinking in extremes. So if you're poor, that's if you're running from poverty, is that is the state that you're coming from, that's what's inside you, you're probably gonna be the one who apes these meme coins and waiting for 1,000x. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you wanted to have that fast, because guess what, you're not having it now.
Mm-hmm.
and you want it there as fast as possible, so you're going to go to extremes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That degen behavior,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, going to go to extremes. But people exhibit that behavior sometimes it's just one thing inside you that makes you display that behavior in almost any area of your life. So if you grew up with a lot of drama is actually attractive to you and thrilling to you, gives you a thrill. You're emotionally gravitated to these things,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it's in your relation. It's in your relationships too. I have a lot of girlfriends around me, and I'm like, why do you keep picking the same people with a different face?
Yeah.
And all they can come up with as a solution is just, yeah, all these guys are losers. Everything
Yeah.
that they have turn out to be losers and cheaters and whatnot. And I'm just like, yeah, well, you keep picking them.
Right.
And if I point out a nice guy, yeah, that doesn't thrill them. It doesn't excite them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going out with him. And I'm like, so why not? Looks like a good guy. And like, no, looks boring. Yeah, it's because your compass is set to something else, but it's not working out for you, is it? Right? Why don't you just go out with this guy that you think is boring? Because you're now making things, out to be that you just cannot know about a person. So why not go have a coffee with this guy then, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't even think about it because that's not exciting. I'm not feeling anything when I'm looking at that person.
Yeah.
No, because it doesn't look like a rugger. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just look like a fuckboy.
There's
So
no 1000x potential,
there's
upside
no
potential,
thousand x
perceived.
potential.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
all
exactly.
perception, but
They're
that's
looking at
that's
it.
the psychological thing that's why
Yeah,
they
it's a
don't even
present.
see it
The
because that
guy,
part
the
of their
guy
brain,
looks
that
like
logical
Bitcoin.
part. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy looks like Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we kind of want the fart token over there.
Yeah. That's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, the guy looks boring DCA,
Yeah.
right? But you can win with him. You possibly getting rugged the other way.
You actually
So,
see that.
but
You
that's
actually
just
see
their
that
emotional.
DCA type of
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
going on. Yeah.
because this guy looks like
So to
DCA.
speak. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same, right? We all know this. We all know this. You are, if something's on repeat, then it's not the people, it's not the situation. You are the common denominator in all of this, right? So you are picking the wrong things, and that might come from something that that is learned behavior, learned lessons within you, right? It's part of who you are and what you believe the world to be. And so you will always have that emotional radar on for you to cling to things that you think are good, but actually are not working out that well in your life. And a lot of people, what's very human nature is that everybody tries to blame the freaking outside world. The biggest red flag that you can have on a date is when you sit there with somebody and they're just going to go over the relationships that they have and they're going to name a bad trait of each person that they've been with. And it's
Yeah.
all going to be their exes were all a problem. Well, what they're actually saying is that they are the problem. That's what they're telling you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can have one thing that was sketch, but if that happened 10 times, you're actually telling me, and there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to. All right, that's sort of a red flag when people do that. When people blame the rest of the world constantly. It was that school. It was my parents. It was this. It was all. Now look, I noticed
Damn.
some things happen to kids that should not happen. But at
Mm-hmm.
one point, you're an adult and you got to take responsibility for yourself and pick up the pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was very unfair if anything happened to you when you were young. I do not wish it, right? I wish everybody would have the same nice childhood, but that's not the case. But at one point, you're an adult and you got to do with what you got, right? And make the best of it. And you cannot keep blaming, because as soon as you do that, you're not looking at the problem that's actually inside you. And you might have a few things that, yeah, you handle badly on autopilot and you don't even know, right? So yeah, we're just this rabbit hole was not it's not for this space, but we went there anyway. Yeah, it's getting very late here. We've been open for 2.5 hours. We got some Gemini Alpha. We did the Monad faucet. Um, Give wrap. We covered all of that. There is that Sui reward token launch that we posted in the jumbotron. There's the TG for that. It's from the Earn project. It's not a bad project. It's moving very slow, but hey, a hodl over time is the thing there. But yeah, they are going to do that reward token on Sui so you can get into TG. It's a fair Seifu launch over there, and you can get all the info there. And I bet you when it's time to launch, that CA will be pinned up there too. If you want to trade on Sui, then Raiden X is your go-to. All right, link in my bio if you want to sign up to the ref link. And yeah, that's kind of if you want to mention anything else. I see OG Peanut has joined us and Millie is here. I didn't even look at the screen. You guys were just going on a little rabbit hole rant there. Um, but yeah, anything you want to add, Jules?
No, nothing in particular. Shout out to Millie and OG Peanut. Good to see you guys again, and really great to see the Sui support. Sui Network support. From the whole fam. So it's really cool to see you guys, and thank you for showing up and being a part of this. I'm really stoked
Yes.
on the. Oh, real quick, I don't know if OG Peanut you saw the video that I posted, but I clipped a video, and we're gonna be doing more too. And for Millie too, I'm definitely gonna be posting more videos for Millie as well.
Yeah, Tick is bullish on it, you guys. Tick is
Yeah.
bullish on it. But yeah, I was gonna say something. I lost my track of it. It says I guess I gotta rug myself for the whole evening. I just did a lot of work today. Um, yeah. Anyways, you guys, thanks for showing up again. To yesterday, we had little bit of a bigger space, but this is sometimes very nice too. Let's have a listen. What's the ticker? What's the ticker? What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fact. Got a runner on the map, Solana sniping like a gat. And the Soe is moving quickly. I'm gonna squeeze them where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1,000x is gonna land. I got chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at? Yes, everybody. Thank you for coming again. Yeah, and tomorrow we'll be here, same time, same space.
Thanks again, you guys. See you tomorrow.
Stay bullish.